Welcome to 91 Reasons, a pop culture fueled rocket into the far reaches of nerd culture. Featuring your hosts, Jeff, Rachel, Luna, Austin, and Josie. It's Tucker time.
Okay, it's loud, it's boisterous. We're here at the Fuddruckers on Beach and Orangethorpe in Orange County for this is our third annual Star Wars Roundtable. So you better turn up your volume, you better get ready because we're going to talk Star Wars The Last Jedi. Welcome to 91 Reasons. I am the host, I am the voice, Jeff Tucker. We got a whole restaurant of people here who are ready to sit down and talk Star Wars The Last Jedi with us. So here's how it's going to work. We're just going to have a free-form conversation. Zach's up first on the mic, so whoever wants to sit down and tag in and tag out. We have Fake Tyler's here, Justin from Randomland's here.
Look at this.
What do you got here?
Got your Christmas card.
Oh, Merry Christmas and congratulations.
Thank you.
He just got engaged, everybody.
To a girl.
That's a plus. That's a plus. Better than getting engaged to Snoke, right? All right, everybody, welcome. So, if you've been anywhere near the internet, you know that The Last Jedi has polarized everybody. You either hate this movie or people hate you. And that's how it works, right? You're either hated or you hate. Which is, I find so odd, but it's Star Wars, right? And you gotta have an opinion. You're at the point now where Disney's created this, you must go see it opening weekend, or you can't talk to your friends, or you can't go on Facebook, or Twitter, or MySpace, or whatever it is you go on.
And you can't speak a word of it for the next 2 months, or you've ruined the movie for somebody.
I know, man. Rob Alvey put a thing up that said, can you believe that they killed Han in the first one, Luke in the second one, but Carrie Fisher, who's dead, is still alive in the movies? It makes no sense, right? Yeah. And people are like, is this a spoiler? And you're like, it's been out a few days. Either go see it or you don't care, right?
Yep. I mean, in the 72 hours that it's been out, I would imagine everyone who's gone to see it has seen it.
It made $220 million. I don't know who's left to see it that hasn't seen it.
Homeless people?
I guess, right? I bet you could go down to Skid Row and the guy's like, yeah, man, my Snoke theory was wrong. You got any heroin? All right, so
He probably looks like Snoke too.
I did a pre-episode to this where me and the kids and Rachel talked for 40 minutes about how much I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I had such a good time in the theater. I wept. I cried multiple times. I was bored multiple times, mostly during anything with Finn and Rose. I was baffled a few times at it, but when I left Force Awakens, I was upset because I'd waited, how many years? 10 years. Just 10 years between Sith and Force Awakens, and It wasn't very good. It was a rehash. It was time for somebody to do a Star Wars movie that was unlike any Star Wars movie. And this one, though it has flavors of Star Wars scenes, it's an all-new story. So, Zach, what do you think of The Last Jedi?
I believe that, for me, it's one of those weird ideas where Star Wars is like a thing that's near and dear to people's hearts. And this movie is either I love it or you just tore my heart out. But it's one of those movies that I love just because it does tear my heart out. Because it's one of those where we have so much closure to a lot. It's pretty much the finale to a story without it being the finale to a story.
Right, yeah. No, the one thing I said was, I probably don't have to see any more of these Star Wars movies because for my needs, they've all been met.
Yeah,
the Luke Skywalker story is over, the Leia story is over, Han Solo is over, Yoda is over.
Like you can pretty much just like this is the Star Wars saga. This is the Luke saga.
And now they can take it and remold it and repackage it for a younger generation. And I'm totally okay with that. We knew they were going to do that anyways. It's Disney.
Yeah, wink.
We knew.
Yeah.
Who else? You want to switch out here?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to switch out here. Who wants to come in? Somebody come in. Rustin's breaking his legs to get over. You've got to go the other way. I got cords and everything this way. So, the movie opens and the crawl tells you nothing. Tells you that Luke is still missing. We know that Luke is still missing. right? And when the movie finally opens, we're treated to what I thought was too long of a space battle involving dropping bombs, and we finally got back to the Luke scene. They did it again. I had shades of Back to the Future 2. You know what I mean? Where Doc shows up again, and we're like, we've already seen this scene. You could begin at the end of this scene, it would be okay. But see, in Back to the Future, they had to do it because they have a new Jennifer, and they want to set you up for a new Jennifer. So, Rustlin, you're a big Star Wars fan. What'd you think of The Last Jedi?
I absolutely loved it. It's not, to me, it's not the best Star Wars movie.
What's the best Star Wars movie?
In my opinion, it's Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that's the popular opinion.
But this is my new favorite just because it took risks that I thought that Star Wars would never take. And I admire it for that.
Yeah.
My turn yet?
Rustin's saying how much he loved the movie.
Oh, Rustin and I are one on this movie.
Yeah,
We will take on anyone that wants to tell us that it's not the best one.
well, I'm not going to fight someone for it.
How old are you?
I will.
How old are you, Rustin?
I'll fight for
I'm
you.
21 years
You're
old.
21, so you're the target audience for this movie.
Pretty much.
Because you're the guy that's going to buy the video games. You're the guy that's going to buy the collectibles. I'm at the tail end of my collecting life, right? So the movie, in regards to your generation, was about hope, especially with that last scene where
Exactly.
you see the little boy who's got force powers, he's got a ring, and he's looking to the stars to someday, I'm going to get out of this dump like Tatooine, and I'm going to save the galaxy.
I have a
how can
feeling-
anybody find fault with that?
I don't get how someone can find fault in that. I mean,
Isn't that weird?
I know. To me, when I saw that scene, especially seeing it a second time today, I thought to myself, I wonder if they're setting that little boy up for if Disney's ever going to do another trilogy. If they do.
Well, they've already signed the same guy to do another trilogy, but it doesn't matter if it's that kid or if he's got some destiny. It's the idea that the rebellion and by proxy Star Wars is being passed to another generation. I totally get that. I felt so relieved at the end, like I'm done.
Yeah.
And if I go to see the other movies, that's great too, because your generation grew up with a specific version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
When you grew older, they got rid of that and they started a new version. It went from cell animation to CGI animation, right?
Yeah.
Live action guys in suits to CGI suits. So things do change. That's how they keep people interested.
Yes, exactly. Like you said with the Ninja Turtles, I grew up with the 2003 version.
Everybody has their version, right?
Yeah. That one will always be my favorite. And, same thing with Empire Strikes Back. Sure, I didn't grow up with it in the 80s, but that's I grew up in the original trilogy as a kid because my mom bought me the VHS box set because I was so interested.
Now you're showing your age, though, with your VHS.
I was the last of
My first copy of Star Wars was on beta.
Nice.
And then I finally I broke down and bought a Laserdisc machine because they were available on Laserdisc in letterbox format. And I remember the first time watching that being blown away because you could see the whole picture and not a square. And nowadays with the rectangle TVs, people don't even think about it. But it was a real struggle back in the old days of the video store of getting a movie and seeing the whole thing. Amazing, right?
Yeah.
You better still have those laser discs because those things are like worth buku bucks now.
I don't have them. I sold off the whole collection. But that's what they used for the DVD that had the original version as an extra. Do you remember that set?
Oh God, yeah.
They just poured it over the Laserdisc, warts and all, right?
Oh my God.
I remember.
So what was your favorite scene of the movie, Rustlin?
Especially that part when Rey and Kylo slow motion toward the guards ready to fight. I don't know why. That part gives me chills every time I see it.
My favorite parts were obviously with Luke Skywalker because he's my hero. If we take that out of the equation, the moment where Kylo Ren put his hand out to Rey, I thought, oh my God, I hadn't even thought about this. She should hook up with him and rule the galaxy. What a great third movie that would make, man.
That's what I thought. And it didn't go there.
That's the one thing these movies are missing, and that's a badass female villain. Oh man, if Rey showed up as like a Sith chick,
that would be amazing.
All tore up and badass, man, I'd be so about that. I would buy every action figure of that.
Yes, exactly.
I don't need her to be the good guy anymore. It's okay if she's the bad guy.
I really wish you would have gone that route, man.
I know. I was so hoping. But what was interesting about that scene is they start fighting with the Force, right?
Yes.
And Luke's saber's in the middle, and it breaks in half.
Yeah.
Which shows the audience they're totally equal. She's got just as much force power as he does, right? And then Luke's lightsaber is taken out of the equation. Now, at the end of the film, did you put that in two and two together when Luke showed up looking younger and with the lightsaber intact?
I knew something was up.
You're like, hey, something's off here, right?
Yeah.
And then he survived all those laser blasts.
I was like, okay, he's probably a projection of the Force.
Now let me ask you, will Kylo Ren wear a helmet in the next film, or is he done with that?
He's done with that. He is completely done with that because, especially what Snoke told him, you're a child with that mask.
Yeah,
you're a child in a mask. So he's like, I'm a man now.
But what's interesting is that J.J. Abrams and company, they spent so long refining the look of that, the new Darth Vader, the new helmet, the new look of the bad guy. It's on all the packaging. It's the keychain. It's the lollipop, right? And the new guy goes, in the first 5 minutes of the movie, breaks the helmet. Doesn't take it off and put it down. Because in The End of Force Awakens, he drops it. Right? This one, he obliterates it to where it looks like the Darth Vader helmet. So,
which I thought was awesome.
The interesting part about this film is all the work that J.J. Abrams did, setting up Rey and her lineage, and Snoke, and Kylo Ren's backstory. And didn't Kylo Ren have like a warrior gang with him?
He had a thing called the Knights of Ren, which I was expecting to see in this film, but it never happened.
So the new guy comes in and goes, oh yeah, we're just throwing all that away. We're not even going to deal with that.
That's how it felt. But
who's Snoke? Doesn't matter, he's dead.
Yeah.
Who's Rey's parents? They were nobodies. They sold you for liquor. The helmet's gone. I mean, the only thing he has left is, that cool TIE fighter looking ship, right?
Yes. I forgot the name of it, though.
A TIE something.
Interceptor.
TIE Interceptor.
What was the TIE fighter called? Yeah. The TIE Silencer. Yeah, man. So, and then like, he couldn't even pull the trigger to kill Leia.
Yeah.
So, I thought that all this stuff that J.J. Abrams had worked so hard to make a thing, and that's what he does.
Yep.
He makes things, and then if they get picked up, I mean, didn't he produced Lost, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy, right?
Yeah.
Screw him. Lost is the downfall of pop culture, because I did a whole episode where I said Lost is the reason that we go to movies and watch TV shows and they don't make sense. We go, well, it was still cool.
Yeah.
No, I watched 5 years of Lost for Jack to get in a hot tub and pull a plug. That's really how it ended. He pulled a plug on the magic hot tub. I could kill this man, right? Give it David Lindelof. So I liked Looper. I didn't think it was a big epic. I didn't think it was a masterpiece. It was a fun little sci-fi romp where when they got too deep in the weeds of sci-fi time travel, they actually looked at the audience and went, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's the same joke in Spy Who Shagged Me, Don't worry about it. And you at home don't worry about it either, right?
Yeah.
So, but here he is in this film, just... Let Glenn in here for a minute. Glenn, you're a big Star Wars guy. Pull it closer. Why did Kathleen Kennedy and what's his name?
Ryan Johnson.
No, the guy who wrote
What do you get there?
Empire Strikes Back. Lawrence Kasdan. Why did they let him do it? This is almost a point where they said he'll be back in a year with a movie.
Yeah.
These things are normally vetted by 10,000 people before a camera even rolls, and all of a sudden he's undoing all this stuff. I'm shocked. As a business person, I'm totally shocked. As a moviegoer, I'm like, but they told us to care about this stuff, right?
I think the studio's just getting lazy because they just put a Star Wars movie there and we'll make $300 million.
It's about
we
the
don't
money.
Care. That's it. So do whatever you want. It's going to make money.
That's unfortunate.
So, yeah.
So what'd you think of the movie, Glenn?
It was okay. I thought the writing was lazy.
Yeah.
That's how I say it.
Okay.
It's just, everything's just too easy, too simple, no character development, that kind of thing. Luke's in and out like nothing. Totally underutilized character.
Okay. What were we talking about? What scene do we want in the movie? Oh, we were talking about a scene where Finn when they're on Vegas World. Remember Vegas World? The strip? Bob Stupak's Vegas World. Like Finn sits down to play cards, and he looks up, and there's Gwendolyn Christie, the girl who plays Phasma, without her helmet. He doesn't know it's her, but she knows it's him. That would have been fantastic, right? What do I always say? You have to review the movie you got, not the movie you want. And I think that's where the backlash is coming, because we've had 2 years of who's Snoke, who's Rey's parents, what's Luke going to do with his lightsaber, right? And instead of any of that, the new guy goes, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, but then you have all those expectations that don't get met, and you're like, disappointed. So
it's like losing your virginity, don't you think?
I wouldn't go that far.
We have a lot of expectations, and when you finally go through it, you're like, that's what I waited all that time for? Seriously? You know how much tickets to the prom cost? And a limo? I like to compare Star Wars to virginity at the prom.
Yeah, really.
I'm a sick bastard.
Come on.
Yeah,
you are.
Okay. So, give us some more insight, Glenn. This is you're an old timer like me, an old time Star Wars fan. You're wearing an Episode 1 jacket, for God's sake.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I mean, I would have liked to see Luke just do something, and then.
Well, let me ask you that.
Yeah.
I was okay that there was no big Luke Skywalker lightsabers fight, because in the scheme of this film, in the scheme of life, he's the same age as Alec Guinness was when he did New Hope, right?
Yeah.
So, do we want to rehash where they just sort of touch tips and, you know what I mean?
Well, it doesn't have to be like that. I mean, he's strong with the Force, right? It doesn't have to be a saber battle.
I don't know. I don't. If Luke had gone to the Red Salt Planet and was physically there and had a fight with Kylo Ren, I don't know. Well, here's the thing. Chris Gore brought up a great point. If Luke had walked out and faced down those walkers, and it's bump. The music is bump. Yeah, bum. And you see Kylo Ren go, fire all weapons, and then it goes dun 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 dun, and it just ends. How awesome would that have been?
Well, it'd be a cliffhanger, yeah.
Oh yeah, well, it would have been worse than Han Solo and Carbonite, right?
Right.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. The next director, Luke, would have had to have been there, because the next director goes, oh no, it's just what did Christopher call it, a Jedi Snapchat? If it's just a Jedi Snapchat, then there's no tension. Because when Luke emerged from all those lasers, everybody else is like, what's going on, man?
Well, first you think, man, this guy's really a badass.
Yeah, what did he do? How did he do that, And then when you find, he's not
that,
yeah.
For me, that negated the whole thing.
I was talking with Russell about that. Like, he looked different. I think that's how Mark Hamill looks. I think they made him look a little older, like Doc Brown in the first Back to the Future, right?
Yeah.
Because he looked younger, his hair was different, and he had the saber, which we had just seen get broken. Now, I'm not Benedict Cumberbatch in Sherlock, so I didn't immediately go, oh, he's not really there. I was like, what's going on with, did he have another one? Or, because that should be a green one.
I didn't even think about that.
It should be a green one, right? Like, here's the thing.
Two swords, though.
Talk about expectations, is that we all assumed there was going to be a scene of him raising the X-Wing.
Right.
Coming out of
I thought it was a missed opportunity because they planted that seed.
But they did it to go,
or at least Rey to do it for her training, like the Dagobah part.
There was no training.
Right.
There was training in this movie the same way there was a Battle of Kashyyyk in Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
And that is to say,
it's all off screen.
What happened?
Yeah.
Did I miss it?
Yeah.
Because I remember when Sith came out, there was all these toys, and I'm like, I don't remember any of that in the movie.
Yeah.
And when I saw Sith again, I'm like, it's like 25 seconds.
Like the Civil War, never existed.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I don't know. Do you think when Star Wars Land opens, Galaxy's Edge, that we're going to be able to get a slushie from the teat of a monster like that? Because that's what I want more than anything.
And how come
that might be funny, but it'll never happen.
How come it wasn't blue milk?
Well, I thought it was. Similar, right?
It didn't look blue to me.
Can you imagine, like...
Yeah.
I would be there all day.
Yeah.
Because if they're not thinking about that while they're making these movies, they're not doing their job.
exactly.
Because I've seen the drawing, and not to veer into Disneyland,
or go into the merchandise.
They're going to have a big, pod racer engine that cooks meat. What?
Yeah.
Well, I got to sit and think about what the Star Wars connection is? No.
Right.
I want a big monster sitting there nude, and they give you the cup, and you get a blue raspberry right from his teat. That's what I want. And then when you're done...
First off, that blue milk comes from a bantha. What's the matter with you?
But the best part is, when you're done, he gives you that look. You know what I mean? Like, what was that look about?
Right, this is his source of...
That's the same thing the guy at 7-Eleven does, because he knows what's in it.
This is his source of food and energy living there in that spot.
Yeah, Glenn's like, this is your worst nightmare, right?
That was just a cheap laugh thrown in. Yeah.
Okay, Glenn, what'd you think? Okay, did you cry at all during the movie?
Mostly from the scenes of Leia because, she's gone.
The first time I cried in the movie was, you see, the Leia part I didn't cry because I think, I had made my peace with Carrie Fisher and also with the idea that as talented as she was, and she's all of our first crush, right? Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah.
She did it to herself. She did so much. She did enough drugs. She did your share, my share, her share. The first time I realized this movie's gonna really mess with me was when Luke was talking to R2, and R2 he goes, "Why should I go back?" And R2 played the original message.
Right, and played the full length.
That's when I started crying. I was like, it
brought it all back full circle.
This is really cool, right?
And then to me, it was the dialogue between Luke and her at the end, talking
that
about
was very touching
the legend going on, and not in the context of Star Wars itself, and knowing.
And then the other big one, Glenn, what'd you think of Yoda? It's a puppet. It's Frank Oz doing a puppet.
Yeah, that's fine and dandy, but it's really more like, hey, here's somebody you know, and he's going to say a few things.
Just be glad to get a recount.
Right. Well, and then where's if he's the Force ghost and everything, now he's physically interacting with stuff and setting the tree on fire. They've never had physical
they have. Alec Guinness and Jedi refuse to work on a blue screen. So if you watch the movie, he's moving weeds out of the way and sitting on a log. So
that is true.
Okay. Boom. There's a little bit of precedent for that. Plus,
it's another one of those things I think that it had to be done, and
But he reverted back to mischievous Yoda.
Yeah.
Like he's young again, right? Because in the context of the film,
knowing that the continuation is still going on with other people, other things.
But in the context of the film, he's there to make sure Luke burns that tree down, and he knows there's no books inside.
Right.
The books are that was a shocking moment later in the movie where they go that blanket, and you're like, I think I just saw the books.
Oh yeah, I picked on them.
Yeah, that's why Yoda burned it down, because Luke wouldn't have done it.
Right.
Luke's too. He adheres to the old. He hasn't crossed over yet.
Yeah.
The one fear I had, which didn't come to fruition, thank goodness. Luke stared at the two suns. Was there something in the middle coming towards you? I swear to God, I thought it was going to be a CJ Alec Guinness going, "Come to the light, Luke." We didn't get that. I was very happy.
I'm just glad it was clean and
you want to jump in? Who wants to jump in? Let's switch around. Musical chairs.
We're good. Throw some more people in.
We'll get back to it. Yeah, that's all right. All right, we have Tyler and Justin. You can get in here next.
I can't tell if I'm listening to you over here, and I can't tell if you're advocating for the movie. Did you like it?
I
missed the first part.
I loved it.
We walked in a little bit late.
I enjoyed it as well.
And you didn't like The Force Awakens.
Hated The Force Awakens.
And you loved this movie.
Yeah.
I
can tell
enjoyed
you
The Force
why.
Awakens as well.
Because it was different. The Force Awakens is a beat-by-beat remake of A New Hope.
Right.
A movie I've seen 500 times. I've seen it. I watched it on beta.
Yeah.
VHS,
right.
Laserdisc, DVD, Blu-ray. I even watched it one time on a friend's RCA video disc.
See, I came to listen to because Tyler told me that you liked the new one. I'm gonna get the name. I'm just angry.
Why?
I'm still angry. So I came to listen to why you like it, just because I'm so upset. You've already spoiled the whole movie, so I'm in safe territory.
There's no spoilers here. You
it's
can do
just Luke. If the movie I was thinking about this, and I was like, okay. At first, I was mad. I'm texting Tyler.
He has texted me
almost every day. We saw it on Thursday night.
Dude,
He texts me
constantly.
every day. I'm so mad. Every day I've
I
gotten
was
that
picking
text
on all
There's
kinds
another
of
guy
things.
here who hated it. He saw it a second time and he didn't quite
See,
have that hate.
I haven't seen it the second time yet. Tomorrow night.
What did
I'm
you
gonna go
hate
again.
about it?
Well, at first I thought there was this whole list of things, and then I really thought about it fairly, and I thought if Luke had lived, even if they showed him coughing up blood and saying, "I've got tuberculosis, I've only got a month to live," and then cut the movie, I think I'd be okay. I think Luke made me so upset when I
Because
left the movie theater, I couldn't think about anything else.
But here's the thing, and I'm
Also,
gonna,
Yoda looked
I'm
kinda
gonna,
bad.
I'm gonna, well, he was supposed to. He's a puppet.
Yoda didn't look great.
Yeah.
These are corporate movies.
Yeah.
Did you see Logan?
No, I didn't.
Did you see Dark Knight Rises?
Yes. Yeah.
These are rarities. Big studios never let you kill characters for
Right.
good, close off storylines. Everything has to be open for the next big sequel.
And I kept telling my friend, my other friend too, that I was texting about this. I was like, I can't really be that angry because they did everything I wanted to do. They shook it up. They undid all the really stupid stuff
Sure.
from The Force Awakens. Like,
Well, listen, do,
Like-
we want Rey to be Obi-Wan's kid?
Rey has no parents. That was
No.
the greatest thing ever. I almost screamed in the movie theater.
Yeah,
like,
I
yes!
did too.
When Snoke died, I was like, that's so amazing. He
Yeah.
died mid-sentence.
Yeah.
We'll never find out anything about what he wants.
Who cares?
Or why. It's amazing. And then Luke, and I was really upset. Like, just genuinely upset, like traumatized. Like, no!
You've only seen it once. I've
Yeah,
seen it
only
once.
once.
I think you should go again. We should go together.
I'm going again.
And knowing that we're going to watch a movie where Luke Skywalker does his final act of heroism. He saves the galaxy one more time.
But did he save the galaxy? I almost thought like Luke was like 75% towards redemption. All he had to do was physically like get off his butt and do something, and then it was like right before. Well, wasn't kind of the thesis of the movie sort of up to that point? Your thinking is sort of don't sacrifice yourself. Live to fight another day. Don't be a
Run
hero.
away. Run away, yeah.
Run away.
Because
Be strategic.
the rebellion, the resistance, spends the entire movie running away.
And then here's the pivotal thing. Did Luke just give up? Or did that force protection take so much out of him that he was going to die anyway?
That's the question. Did Luke give up and merge with the Force?
'Cause that's
or did
important
he
to me.
run out of steam
Right.
and merge with the Force?
Because if he gave up, I'm bummed out.
Because we've seen both.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan gives himself to the Force.
Yeah.
Yoda runs out of steam.
Right.
I don't know.
I kind of lean more towards the first.
I don't know.
He was so disconnected from the whole thing, where even when Rey had her little weird Force thing, and she was like, "I didn't see you there. You weren't there for me. You know, I saw
Yeah.
this other stuff." So he disconnected himself from it. So I took it as him sort of like, when he was being a weird ghost and crate running around and winking at C-3PO and stuff. And
Yeah.
that took so much out of him. I thought maybe he had now sort of like he had done his thing, and he just sort of, I don't know.
And he didn't fight Kylo Ren, so he's still like a pacifist. He didn't go to fight. He didn't fight, which I thought was amazing at first. I was like, yes, he didn't even fight him.
Yeah, he didn't fight
That's
him.
so cool. He's like super Jedi. You
He
know?
did that. He did a Matrix bend over.
Which that was amazing. I was
Yeah.
like, this is the Luke Skywalker I've always wanted to see.
Have you read the comic Dark Empire?
No.
That's where Luke has a dalliance and turns to the dark side for a little bit.
Right.
But it opens with this big battle with all these walkers, and Luke just walks out, puts a hand up, and all the walkers just collapse.
Well, there's a book right now that just came out that, it's called The Legends of Luke Skywalker, so it's sort of like stories of Luke, secondhand stories, and there is one where he's pulling Star Destroyers out of the sky.
Yeah, he has that power.
You know, and that's not, none of that is like canon, but it's interesting.
Do we want that in the movie?
And I can understand why you'd want to remove that. It's too powerful.
It's too silly.
But then why not just save it for 9? Because here's my problem now, is that I'm like, okay, the movie might be good. It hurts, but it might be actually really good. I need to watch it again. But I don't care about episode 9 now. I don't care at all.
You're preaching to the choir. I don't care either. I was
There's
just
no
telling
Luke,
somebody.
there's no Han, there's
all
no
of
Leia.
my stories have been ended. We're done.
Yeah.
It's over with.
The Star Wars is over.
You think I care what happens to Maz Kanata? I don't care.
Hey, and also, I heard this, I can't take credit for this, but I did hear this on another podcast. How awesome would it have been if that would have been Lando instead of her? Like, Lando wouldn't be on that planet. that Casino Planet, I feel, because they were all like weird arms dealer guys and kind of seedy people. But that projection where she's, Maz Kanata's telling them, get the code breaker, find the code breaker.
Poor Billy D, dude, he needs the money.
I'm not sure what they're doing with Billy D, why he wasn't in the movie. I don't get
Well,
it.
he's not very mobile, from what I understand. Like, he has a hard time,
is he invalid?
moving around. Well, he's just real slow moving, I think. And
Make him like the guy in Star Trek who's in the wheelchair.
But But how awesome!
Just give him that one, blink for yes.
But then,
Once for yes,
how
and
much
twice for
awesome
no.
it would have been perfect for him to be in that projection because he wouldn't have needed to been moving. He could have been like, "Hey, go to Kanto."
He could have CGI'd it completely.
I just don't understand why they intentionally killed everything that I care about that would have drawn me in to see the next movie. Do they want?
Because there's
And then they're going to clean slate it with J.J. Abrams again.
because they're selling.
who comes up with terrible ideas and then leaves them for other people to complete badly.
Yeah, in theory, they're
They always
selling
start
this.
great.
This is the same thing that's going to happen next year with the
Did you
Marvel
watch
Universe.
Fringe? Did you ever watch the show Fringe?
Fringe,
that J.J. Abrams started?
I have it at home. Is it terrible?
Yeah, because it starts great. Because J.J. Abrams started it, and he can't close. He's the world's worst salesman.
You heard me
dude.
talking about Lost, right?
Yeah.
He's the idea man who goes, "Oh, we'll fix it in post," or "Oh."
I could not. This is the first time I ever left and didn't go, I need to see the next movie. I'm like, you finished Star Wars. This movie might be great, but even if it's great, it's like, oh, you're done. You finished.
This is what they're doing, though. You know this, right? Next year and the year after, the Infinity War movies, they're going to kill all the Marvel heroes, and they're going to start over.
Weird.
That's a good thing I don't care about that.
They're doing the same thing. This is all a cycle, and Star Wars is a cycle.
All the other Last Jedi stuff, people are complaining about the humor. I didn't really have a problem with that.
I didn't either. Did you catch the Hardware Wars reference?
I read about it.
I caught it in the theater. I went, did he just have an iron because that's Hardware Wars.
Yeah. And the Porgs ended up being no big thing.
They weren't Ewoks.
They were perfect.
Yeah,
They were perfect.
it was
They were like
fine.
just the right amount of.
People were upset about the Jedi nuns. I thought that was funny.
I thought they were fine.
Didn't bother me.
They look like Station from
Nah.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
The Casino Planet side plot, that's the thing. That's the only thing I've heard people who like the movie complaining about.
Well, here's the thing.
Does that bother you?
In a 2.5-hour movie,
Because
you
it went
need time
nowhere.
to go take a whiz.
Right.
There you go.
And I only went once, and the only scene I missed was how they dropped out of the chase to go to that planet, which I didn't need to know. But I'm sitting there the whole time going, I could have done number 2 while this is on. I wouldn't have missed anything. You know what I would have missed? I would have missed that virtue signaling.
You would have missed the movie going number 2. No, I'm kidding.
It was virtue signaling of diversity against the 1%. They're rich and they're selling weapons
Don't beat
to
your
both the Empire.
racehorses. Right.
Oh wow!
And then the vegan storyline, don't beat your racehorses.
Wait, that 1%, does that have to do with the whole phone company thing that's going on, the cell phone?
No, it has to do with Trump. It's always about Trump.
It's about
rich people. You're supposed to, if you're a quote-unquote normal person, you're supposed to just hate the rich. And you're supposed to assume that everybody who's rich somehow got it by cheating or murdering somebody. But
I'd like
nobody in America ever worked hard.
Jeez.
It gets old after a while. It gets real old.
So that plot, people are saying it's either genius because they put this whole thing in the movie that ends up going nowhere, so it's more realistic, or it's just a waste of time.
Hey, this is how stupid I am. I thought that the big Asian character died in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I had no idea there was 2 Asian actors in the movie playing sisters, I guess? I had no idea.
I actually thought it was a mother and daughter.
I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Glenn?
I was going to say anything about the Porgs.
The Porgs? What about the Porgs?
I'll switch out. We'll tap out.
You want to switch in here? Yeah, let's switch out. Jason, you want to get in here? Neil, you want to get in here? Come on! You came all this way.
All right, so
all right, say who you're. Jason.
My name's Jason.
I'm Neil.
Neil. Now, Neil, you've never been on the show.
But I listen to your show all the time.
Well, thanks for coming out, man. We're praising and trashing at the same time. I love it.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beauty pageant that outside is being picketed. So
One more thing to say.
you want to look at?
I have one more thing to
Do
say.
it, man. Do it.
Luke Skywalker is the Star Wars.
He is.
If he's dead,
I have no reason to watch.
Star Wars might be dead.
I agree. I totally agree.
So
All right.
The Force Awakens, didn't like it. Too much of a rehash. We're on the same page of that. Rogue One, we both didn't like that either. It's a terrible movie.
You and I are the only ones who didn't like Rogue One.
Oh,
I've had people like
No, I'm with you on that one.
Rick West told me Rogue One was a masterpiece, and that this Last Jedi was the Crystal Skull.
So The Last Jedi,
I couldn't believe it.
I saw it twice. The first time I saw it, I was indifferent. I mean, it's very derivative of Empire Strikes Back, also Return of the Jedi, but it's different enough where it's like, you know what? Maybe it's worth a second viewing. Viewed it a second time, I like it. It's a good movie. They did a lot of. It's not without its flaws, but they did a lot of things right.
But here's the thing: you could point to me. There's only a handful of movies that are flawless all the way through. Every movie that is great. I watch movies all day, man. Some of them you go, man, that movie's fantastic. Well, there's that one part. You know what I mean? There's always the one part. You know. I'll give you a really stupid example. I love that stupid movie, Home Alone. I love Home Alone, right? It's funny, it's stupid, and then all of a sudden, the old man next door won't talk to his son. And it veers off, and I'm like, what am I watching? Stupid, stupid, stupid. It's a terrible example. Terrible example. But they're great movies. Every movie's allowed a little slip now and then. You know what I mean? It's okay. I love Die Hard. I think Die Hard's a masterpiece. But if you watch it today, it takes a long time to get going.
But it's a great Christmas movie.
It's a great Christmas. Yeah. I hate the internet. I just hate the internet. Go ahead.
So here's what I like what they did with it. In The Force Awakens, you had Poe Dameron and you had Finn and all these great people, and they're doing all these wonderful things. And in this movie, they're allowed to take them down a notch. Poe got a lot of people killed. Same with Finn, same with Rose, and even Rey. They are young, they are naive, and they did a lot of stupid things that got a lot of people killed.
Yes.
And if you look at this movie, it is kind of a passing of the baton, even more so than The Force Awakens, but it's showing, look, there are people that are older than you, more experienced than you, that you need to learn from. You're inexperienced, and look at where it got you. I mean, that whole excursion on Canto Bright, like, not the best thing in the world, but looking at it now as that was, it was a boondoggle. It got a lot of people killed.
Yeah.
From that, it impacted the story and moved forward.
What I was explaining to my three kids, the basis for good drama is the characters set out to do something, and when they go to do it, nothing goes to plan. And they have to think on their feet and come up with a new plan. Anytime, like at the end of Ready Player One, Wade Watts' plan goes flawlessly. He never even has any hitch as far as getting arrested, working for IOI, reprogramming Johnny Five. I mean, it's all so silly because nothing goes wrong. The best movies where there's these big complicated things is when something goes wrong. Ocean's 11, you know, they hired the Asian guy to do the backflip, and he breaks his hand, right?
Yeah.
Or George Clooney gets put in a room where he's going to get beat up, and you're like, what's going to happen? This wasn't part of the plan. It's either part of the plan, or they have to think on their feet. Look at the movie, The Italian Job. They spend the whole movie planning the heist, and they don't do it. It all goes to crap.
Back to the future.
Back to the future. That's how good drama is. And I was really shocked. Every time our characters in this movie sat down a road, they were blocked and they had to go somewhere else. The casino plot line, the hacker plot line, getting to the shutting down of the tracker, meeting Luke. We thought from the trailer he was going to train her and she was going to emerge a Jedi. And instead he's like, look, no training, go home.
You know, Luke, he did a fantastic job in this movie. He did, a lot of people were like, oh, well, he didn't train him. You know what? Luke did exactly what a guy in his position would have done.
The last guy he trained is now the most evil guy in the universe.
He wants nothing of it.
That didn't stop Obi-Wan, did it? Obi-Wan trains Anakin. Suddenly Anakin's the Antichrist. He's like, well, I'll give it another shot with his son. Wait a minute. Luke at least was like, look, I tried to kill the last student I had. I don't want to. I don't want to do this.
That was great. Throwing the lightsaber away right at the start.
Yeah. What did I say earlier? He was supposed to grab it and go, this had a hand. But he just flings it.
But that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I like how they had things with Snoke. Oh, who's Snoke? It doesn't matter. And that's one of the things that kind of like, fast forward to the end of the movie. The movie, I think the last scene kind of sums up what the modern Star Wars is all about. You have that little kid walking out, he uses his little force power, grabs the broom, holds it like a lightsaber, and looks up into the sky. That's what Disney wants to do.
Yes.
They're making it so, you know what, race parents, it doesn't matter because anyone can be a Jedi. I'm not saying this is a bad thing, it's just that this is what Disney wants to do.
Oh, I totally agree. And more importantly, that's what they should be doing. I'm 46 years old. My Star Wars days are numbered, right? I'm on the tail end of this thing. I've lived an entire life of Star Wars. I named my kid Luke Skywalker, for God's sake. I have lived Star Wars, and now they're like, hey, old pal, old friend, we're done. And hey, that's great, because you know what? I'll put the warning on the episode. Your toys are shit. Your merchandise is garbage. There's nothing for me in the way you train me to be a fan to buy anymore. See you later. I'm good. Unless, again, they have that creature that you get a Slurpee out of its teeth.
Oh my gosh.
Then I'm okay with it.
So they shotgun you like Old Yeller.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Bill, what you think of the movie?
I thought, I was actually surprised.
Closer.
I was actually surprised that you guys liked it that much. To tell you the truth.
I know,
Listening
right?
to your show, I'm
We're the odd
completely
fans.
surprised. Because, I like The Force Awakens because it just led you down that road and you just watched the movie. With this one, it's like I can accept certain outcomes. I truly can, and that's the thing. I think that people get mixed up when I talk about it, but. The thing that I can't get over is the simple fact of just certain things in the movie. It doesn't, story-wise, it doesn't work. Like the girl at the beginning, Rose's sister, falls down on her back and she's just kicking the stupid ladder. Why didn't you get up? And first of all, how come she's not getting sucked out into outer space?
Yeah.
Or even the same, the bombs falling down, they should just be floating away.
When it happened in Aliens, Ripley was almost sucked into space.
Yeah, but the story was, it was believable,
Yeah, but here's the thing, with Star Wars, that kind of stuff, I just give them a pass because there's no sound in space, there's no fire in space, and we've had that since day one.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you gonna do?
Still, the original episodes we had just normal. It felt like you and I could be with them. We're not having to be these people in space. It was an everyman's movie, even though it was a space epic.
Yeah, no. In the first three movies, 77, 80, and 83. Space travel is like just getting on a bus.
Yeah.
The Millennium Falcon is a Greyhound. I totally get it. Oh yeah, so it's very blasé.
Yeah.
They're going from planet to planet, and one gets blown up. They're like, oh, there's no holder on here.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big red flag.
Yeah. Well, see, I just had a problem with it because I felt like I was always taken out of the film. When you watch a movie, you want to be there. That's why you go and watch a Star Wars movie.
Every time I go to the movie theater, I am ready to fall in love.
Yes.
And to watch it 10 times.
Yes,
absolutely.
Exactly. But there's a problem when you're always asking the question, why did she just get up and do that, Or even, I was talking to Austin, the best part of the movie for me that made me most emotional was a character that I just met, and it was Laura Dern's character. Her sacrifice. That's a problem because I love Luke Skywalker. Why wasn't I affected like that by that? Or Leia,
Yeah, I hear you.
And I agree with, the emotional part with R2 sharing that moment.
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yeah, that affected me. But knowing that Laura Dern's character affected me more than the characters I love, there's something off about the movie. And then even when that happened, when she split them, split the Star Destroyers, and Finn was on the ground. Finn was on the ground, about to get smashed by the executioner, stormtrooper. Boom! He gets up, Rose is over there, and then Captain Phasma and the other stormtroopers come through the door all the way across the other side of the docking bay.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. It's taking me out of the film. I could accept the fact that Luke just epically did that thing at the end. Fine. But to me, it's kind of ruined because it kept taking me out of it. I can't believe that if I can't believe the rest of it.
Well, you know what I think it is? it goes to technology. The first 3 Star Wars movies, 77, 80, and 83, they're all rooted in reality because there's only so much you can do, right? After that, the prequels and The Force Awakens and Rogue One, they can do anything. Anything you can write, they can do. Anything fantastical. So I think we've come to accept a lot of nonsense in movies because we just go, yeah, it's a movie and it did that and did that. You know what I mean? Like this. Don't talk about taking down the movie. Every 5 seconds in Rogue One, I was like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah.
So I have the same exact experience with a different movie.
And that's the thing, though. But like you were saying, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get rid of our generation.
They are, absolutely.
Because obviously the next one's going to be them landing at Tomorrowland, and it's going to be the Jedi Knight training right there, and at the
well, you know at Disneyland, right? The new Star Tours. Have you been on it, Justin?
Yeah, it lands.
It lands in the park.
Yeah, and I thought that was awesome. I was like, what the heck?
God.
It lands at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
No.
But
I have not
But
been
here's the
on
thing.
it yet.
Here's what they should do. If you're listening, Disney, get to work on this. People get on the ride, and it's a simulator, but it actually is traveling under the park. And when it opens, you're at Galaxy's Edge.
Here's my 2 cents thing.
Go ahead.
We're talking about Disneyland. Disneyland passes in about 2 years now. But we're going to have to get them again.
Yes, they do.
Why?
You're prepared, right?
Why?
Because of Star Wars.
Yeah, because they're going to have a place where you can walk up to the monster and milk and get an icy out of its teeth.
And you two can cheers.
And the guy is going to sit there and give you that look.
Yes.
That serves it. Every time he's going to give you that little grimace on his
Have you seen
face.
Explorers? No. It looked like the monster at the end of Explorers. That's what it looked like. It was like, oh, a little lower to the left, please. Yeah, we can rotate again, sure. Nathan, you guys want to get in here?
Nathan wants in. Justin hasn't been in yet.
Justin's been in?
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Alan. I'm trying to get like
Get him in here.
Have you talked yet, Austin? Austin definitely wants in. Okay, let Nathan go first. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
You just have to make a stopping point there and go, who's next?
Yeah, of course. We're doing it organically.
No, I'm not doing it organically. I'm very organized. I want to make sure everyone gets in.
Leia organically.
Nathan's not really here. He's actually in the back of the restaurant projecting himself into the chair.
Yeah, I'm still in my car.
All right, introduce yourselves. Let's talk about Star Wars.
I think they were
Did you like the movie? Did you catch the movie?
First time, really mad. Second time, I got what they were doing.
You got really angry.
I did.
Yeah, you were angry. Notice I didn't comment on anything. I was like, I'm not going to face that.
Dude, as soon as I saw you post, oh, it was fantastic, I'm like, that son of a bitch flipped it on me.
That son of a bitch.
I was ready to be all allies with that guy.
It's like the Life cereal commercial. Oh, Jeff won't like it. He hates everything.
The first time, what didn't you like about it?
Well, the first time was just an
Pull that a little
exercise.
closer to you.
The first time was just an exercise in failed expectations. Everything I wanted to see, all the answers I wanted to know.
You gotta go with the flow.
It was like Luke Skywalker taking that lightsaber and just tossing it over his shoulders. Like, what the hell was that?
That's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. She took it out of the box, man.
But I wanted to give it a second chance and see it.
I did that with Rogue One. I didn't do a show until I saw it twice.
Is that right?
I hated it even more the second time.
Oh, is that right?
I found out why I hated it, and I stayed awake.
Okay.
What'd you got?
Yeah, my name's Brian. I was indifferent the first time, and I've grown to hate it even more now. Talking about it.
Wow.
So I walked out of the theater going, I don't know what I saw. I'm gonna let this kind of sit in me, and as I started talking to people and kind of getting my thoughts.
But let me ask you this:
it grew into just.
When was the last time a movie did this to you? You don't do this after Age of Ultron, or Ant-Man, or Justice League.
Well, Justice League sucks.
Right? I mean, but you don't go, man, if only Justice League had been better. You don't look at a shelf of Ben Affleck's Batman figures and go, oh, why don't I buy all those?
Yeah, but that's more a state of the movies now than it is anything else that was.
When was the last time you walked out of a movie that upset?
That upset?
Yeah. I mean, I do it all the time, so it's old hat for me. I walked out of
Probably the last movie I walked out of where I discussed a lot was Kubo, of the Two Strings.
Oh, I like that movie.
Yeah, that one.
That was
actually,
gorgeous.
Sitting with my kids and like going over all the themes and everything else and talking about the stop motion and all that. That was the last movie that like sat in my head.
I was such a fanboy in the 80s. Every movie that came out, I had the poster. I had the sticker book where you put the pictures together. I had the Goonies Collector Souvenir Magazine, Back to the Future, Inner Space, Roger Rabbit, Last Crusade. The first one that suddenly I turned 21 and I saw Batman Returns and I went, well, that sucked. The first one was better. You know what I did? I sat down and I wrote my own Batman movie. I was so pissed off.
I'll show you how
You know
it's
what?
done.
I think Batman Returns is a masterpiece now. I can't believe they let a director do that to Batman. He kills somebody in the first 5 minutes of the movie, right? He turns the Batmobile around.
Oh, yeah,
and he burns that guy, right?
Oh yeah.
They would never allow that now, right? But so I get it, like movies that affect you. Yeah, it's a gun. Movies that affect you, you want to talk about it and argue. That's what makes good cinema. Hey, I hated Force Awakens.
Cinema.
I've
Really
done
bad
6
cinema.
hours of it on my show. 6 hours of a movie I'm indifferent to.
Well, yeah. I mean, I wasn't indifferent. I'd rather someone really like it or really hate it.
It's called passion, right?
There you go.
Remember Small Soldiers?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Remember Small Soldiers? I remember reading the synopsis. It was coming out that summer, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be badass. Because I imagined it was going to be Lord of the Flies, where the guy turns the lights off at the toy store, and overnight they have this huge battle, like the Gorgonites and the soldiers are battling, right? And you're like feeling sorrow and pain and exhilaration, and they're fighting. And then in the morning, the guy just turns the lights on. And you're like, oh, that's right, they're toys. Like, because you know, Lord of the Flies, the guy just goes, hey, you guys knock it off. And they're about to kill Piggy, right?
Yeah. I do have a movie that I did walk out where I was really peeved.
Yeah, right.
They turned it into
They turned Small Soldiers into nonsense, right?
And I think it should have been cast the other way around when the Gorgonites were the bad guys.
They were subverting expectations.
Because the soldiers were more interesting to watch.
Well, it was because it was the Dirty Dozen.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Well, no, I was gonna say I do remember the movie that really ticked me off when I walked out of the theater and I was pissed.
Yes.
Disney's Pixar's Inside Out.
Oh, yeah.
I literally walked out of that angry. Angry.
You're the little red guy.
Yeah, you're the little red guy.
I couldn't believe they were feeding this to children. The whole concept of that story. It's just like as that movie went on, I've never like walked out of a movie like with that much anger in me.
I hated that how they got back to the command module was not anything we had seen before that made any sense. They just generated all these boyfriends, and I'm like, I'm trying to apply it to the psyche.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, what's the whole kid and stealing the mom's credit card and doing this all because you couldn't sleep in your own bed and all that. It was just like, are you kidding me? This is what we're telling children?
Dude, I hated Up. Wow. I'm the one guy that hated Up. I sit there and they go, oh, it's so touching. I go, yeah, it's a touching movie about a guy and his wife who can't have a baby and she dies, and then the dog talks. What?
Yeah.
Squirrel?
It's not even a road picture.
The dog talks, and the guy can't find a bird that the other guys find in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, there's a bird the guy's been looking for his whole life. Never even seen it. Really? The 7-foot-tall talking? Yeah, I hate that stupid movie. So, Nathan, you've seen it twice. Give us some insight.
One thing, once I set my expectations aside, I was able to appreciate what they actually did do with Luke. And what they did do was they showed him as someone who got caught up in his own legendary status.
Oh, absolutely. He believed his own hype.
Right.
He opened a school. I'm so good, I'm going to open a school. Like
we didn't
Duff
see
on
that
Ace of
part.
Cakes.
That's kind of the part I was hoping to see in the sequels, but that's the part that's like now in the past. So where we come up to him now is after failure, and he needed to regain a legendary status, but to do that he had to pretty much like sacrifice himself again.
But he did.
And he did.
He did. At the end of the movie, he stands up to the first order, whatever order it is, bacon and fries. He stands up to the new order, and everybody in the whole galaxy, I mean, the only thing missing, and I'm shocked it wasn't there, was like the little hover cameras broadcasting it all around the galaxy, right? Like the Hunger Games, right?
Yeah, we were talking about that too. It's like, okay, how is it like a second later in the film, like everybody is talking about it? Little kids are telling stories
He's
of
got
action
a doll,
figures
right? He has a doll, right? So what you're saying is you're right. He had to come out of retirement. He had to stand up for something and then fall, and now he's a legend again.
Well, and he didn't even really fall. He wasn't really there, but what he did accomplish with the projecting himself into that scene did let the remnants of the resistance go. They escaped, so he accomplished that goal. Plus, he actually cemented that legendary status. He wasn't even there, so that's just an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And it was such an amazing thing that it actually basically killed him.
But I think in the context of the story, anybody that is telling that particular saga, he's there. The legend is he's there. I don't think they even understand the whole long distance Jedi thing.
He let the spark live. That was the key.
Yeah,
no one saw him fight.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I think visually, no one saw him fight Kylo, except for the First Order. Everyone had already bailed out.
They're bailing, right?
So within the context, actually, when they start firing on him, everyone thinks he's dead at that moment.
The resistance, you mean? Yeah, I get that.
Except for Leia and Rey, because they feel a different presence.
Yeah, they know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
You didn't like the fact that she goes, you just use it to lift rocks, and then in the movie she lifts rocks?
That was funny. It kind of reminded me of the X never marks the spot.
In Last Crusade?
In Last Crusade, and there's a big X on the floor, X marks the spot.
I love that. I love the guy stamping. I love that guy.
So now that I can appreciate what they did do, Brian has an excellent point that we've been discussing this whole time about how the entire thing is crap because of Luke's motivation. Take it away.
All right. Suck it to me, baby.
So for me, the spokes of the wheel crumble because of Luke's motivation. Him creating Kylo Ren. I mean, the movie's very clear he created Kylo Ren, whether Snoke was good. And the whole basis of that, when we go back to Empire and Return of the Jedi, because you have to go back to those because they still exist within the canon, so you have to go, is that...
Anytime I've given an explanation as to why I hate something, I always relate it to, this is why I hate it, because this already happened.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly what this is.
So within his basis, Luke has already handled that side of the dark side and that failure with his father. And the basis of that in Return of the Jedi is his anger. His father pulls it out of him by using Leia. I'll turn your daughter. I'll turn your sister. And so he confronts Vader. We know the whole story with all that. So for Luke to stand over Leia's son and Han, who are his best friends, to even remotely think about killing him, no matter what, sorry, I cannot buy it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Wait, I'll give you a real world example.
No, because the fear of that is the dark side. He's already accomplished that with dealing with the failure of fighting Vader. He's dealt with that failure. And he took his lightsaber and he threw it away.
But how many stories begin with, if you had a time machine, who's the first person you'd go back and kill? Hitler, right? If you had a chance to kill Hitler while he's sleeping, would you kill Hitler while he's sleeping? Does that make you evil?
Does it make? Yes, it does. So.
But are you willing to take on that mantle to save 7 million people?
But Luke didn't save anybody by that. He actually ended up killing millions of people through Ren by creating him in that moment.
Oh, I get it, but he doesn't know that at the time. What he thinks is, if I kill this son of a bitch while he's sleeping, he won't grow up to kill me.
But see,
the motivation, though, you're talking about Leia and Han's son.
Wait. Here's what you're talking about.
No.
I got it.
I got it. But there's also another part to that.
Give it to me.
The future. Luke knows that the future isn't set. It's very clear.
Your future is whatever you make it.
No, precisely. So him seeing any of that is bogus because Luke has already dealt with that too.
And he even changed his mind. He realized that. But it was too late.
So
it's the act. The act is what does it.
Right. As soon as he ignited that saber, whether he's going to use it or not, Brandon interpreted as, this dickhead's going to kill me. I'm out of here.
Now, see, if we were talking, and if he hadn't lit his lightsaber and it was on his belt and he was standing over there and it was kind of menacing or whatever and he's thinking about it.
Even if he's holding it, but it's not lit.
That's a totally different justification than him actually lighting it and everything else. It's so out of character for him that when you take that, that's the whole crux of the entire plot.
I get
everything.
it. I am with you 100% on it.
Once that falls off, you have no
I'm
movie,
with you 100%.
no nothing.
The problem is that if Luke is a virtuous white knight the whole time, we have no story.
Precisely.
Everybody has to be fallible. You guys are untouchable, is that it?
No.
Everybody can be got to.
It's
Elliot Ness even doubted himself,
No,
right?
but it's a bad fallibility. in anything.
A point that Brian made earlier was that once you make a mistake so huge, like in Empire, Luke thinks he's going to outclass Vader. And Vader whoops his butt.
Oh yeah, he's cocky.
So that's not
he
how
draws first. That's
right.
why he loses.
But he realizes Vader doesn't want to kill him. Vader wants him to join him and overthrow the Emperor.
Yeah.
So connecting with his dad.
I wonder if your thoughts on this matter are clear, Lord Vader.
Yeah. So Luke knows now that defeating Vader isn't the answer. And he has to save him not by beating him, but by loving him. That's why he doesn't kill him.
Yeah, no, I agree. Here's my question to you.
But in that, he has that same dilemma now with Ren, and he goes, maybe I should kill him.
That's his conflict.
That's the conflict. In the first film, Marty has no problem with being called any name. In the second movie, the minute he's called chicken, all hell breaks loose.
That's not actually true, though. They don't use a name in Back to the Future, but it's clear when anybody challenges him because he stands up to Biff. Basically, Biff is calling him chicken. Hey, come after me. And he chases them all over.
Yeah, there's a nugget of that, which is why when it carries over, you're like, okay, I'll buy that. Because again, speaking from the writer's point of view, you have to have something to hang your hat on, or you have no story.
I get that.
Okay, we're gonna rotate. All right.
You guys are missing the old lady table is having a whole.
We'll come back to it. We're okay.
We should be taping over there.
Austin, you're in.
We're tapping
The
out.
conversation is much different.
All right. That was good though. That was really good.
That was fun.
Nice.
You're talking hardcore Star Wars.
Listen, I'm the last guy to want Luke Skywalker to be anything other than the badass Jedi Knight that he is.
Oh, he's gonna get a drink. Maybe I can get in 2 seconds time.
Go ahead, Rachel.
What'd
What'd you think of the movie, sweetheart?
I loved it. I thought it was amazing, and I thought the last one, that Force Awakens thing, was horrible, and we should just pretend like it didn't happen because it's not needed for this movie, and we should just watch the first three and this one and nothing else, and you have the perfect series.
Let me
first three originals.
Is the audio
the other ones?
Is the audio backed up so if it becomes unplugged, the whole thing isn't a waste? Is it all good?
It's on the chip.
It's all okay. I get voice. Okay, so Star Wars. Let's talk about Star Wars.
Get in, Alan. You're in.
Come in with us.
Okay.
I grew up.
What do you want to talk about? Star Wars.
Star Wars.
We're
Yeah.
talking about the pigskin picks for the Fantasy Football League. Let's go.
No, this is a little indie movie called
Defense. No, go ahead.
It was a little indie movie called Star Wars. I was obsessed as a kid. And I always thought Return of the Jedi was a great conclusion.
Get right on the mic.
I actually loved Return of the Jedi. I don't know why people hate it. I think it's fantastic.
Return of the Jedi found a monster shit up.
Yeah, but I just thought it was a good happy ending. So the idea of continuing it seems dumb to me, like pointless. And I hated Force Awakens. This movie, I'm gonna sound like a complete sill here when I say I loved this movie.
How can that be?
Fantastic.
What did they awaken in you?
I don't know. I just thought it was a good movie with amazing acting from Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher reprising their roles. It was well paced, it was fun, and it was different. When I was a kid, I would read in like third and fourth grade. We had required reading. So I'd always check out these Star Wars novels that continued the canon. One of them was called Mount Yoda. Like there were these ridiculous Star Wars.
Mount Yoda.
Yeah, Luke has to journey up to Mount Yoda to discover what the enemy
I
Jedi.
thought it was How to Make Yoda Happy. Mount Yoda.
Oh my god.
Put the comma in the wrong place.
But basically, there were these cheesy stories that were supposed to be Episode 7. Spoiler alert, it ends in Han and Leia's wedding, and I thought it was the greatest thing as a kid. Like, this is the end of Star Wars.
But here's the thing for you, they took those novels and they actually made toys out of them. Remember the micro machines that came in a fake novel?
Yeah.
Truce of Baccarat, Courtship of Leia. They were in novel form with toys, so like, you can read the novel and like, oh, there's toys to go with it.
This is technically a movie,
I
yeah.
like toys. I like all the toy part of it.
This movie does not have toys.
No, it doesn't. Not any
Unfortunately
good
not.
toys.
But
they made a million toys of that red guy and the porg. So if you like the red guy knight or the porg, you're set.
The Crayola crayon.
Let Alan get in here too.
I don't know, we're good.
Talk about
Go
Star
ahead,
Wars.
Austin.
See, I have no reason to summarize this movie. Everybody said what's there to be said. I have a unique take on this movie, and I have a unique interpretation. Not a theory. This isn't a theory. This
Lay
is
it
not
on
a
me,
fan
brother.
theory. This is an interpretation. I think Luke Skywalker never died in this movie. I think he died before this movie even happened.
That's your theory.
My theory is I'm pulling a Bruce Willis Unbreakable. Luke was dead the whole
Sixth
time.
Sense.
In the movie, Luke Skywalker lives alone on an island with no way to live. How would he have lived on that island? He never touched
He got
the fish lady.
He got icy from a teat. and
He got bad milk.
and he got a big fish at the end of a stick.
Now that's a toy I want.
I think he just was messing with Wade there. He was smiling at her when he did that. He was just messing with her.
This is your theory.
He has no real way of life living on there. Nobody on the island acknowledges him.
Hey Nathan,
this is no real
what do
way
you guys
to
think
live.
of that? That Luke was dead the whole time.
He's always been dead. Yeah.
Like Bruce Willis.
Like the whole time he's been a ghost?
Yeah. He never space projected himself. He just reappeared somewhere else. And
that Snoopy snow cone machine? They should make one of the teats.
But I'm just saying, I think Luke Skywalker has always been dead because everybody in the movie that sees or interacts with him is somebody who is spiritually connected with Luke. Chewbacca, C-3PO, Leia, Rey. These people would see Luke's spirit. But
I like this idea. I'm going to watch it again and see if it holds water because the idea that Luke is already dead and is just waiting for look, I can't join Yoda and Ben
until
and
I finish this.
Until I do something.
To finish what needs to be done.
Pass the baton. That's exactly right.
And it bothered me in the movie that
I like that.
Luke never interacted with anyone that was new. Like he never talks to Laura Dorn's character. He never talks with the Rebels. He never talks with Poe Dameron.
No, he never takes a phone call. He only talks to Rey, and that's it, right?
That's it. And Leia. No, he interacts
talk to them, though, does he?
interacts with Rey, Leia, Chewbacca, and 3PO, and he winks at 3PO. And there's only one physical item he touches the whole time.
The door.
No. What do you mean the door? What door?
The door to his hut, which is for the X-Wing.
That. Like, we don't even know how he got on the Rebel base. He hands Leia the dice from his Millennium Falcon. And then Kylo Ren gets the dice. And the dice disappear.
Yes.
They were ghost dice, people. Ghost dice.
Yes.
These were ghost dice.
What if
ghost.
Luke is battling Kylo Ren and then he just disappears and the next shot is the Enterprise moving away?
Oh my god.
Like they've beaten his ass out of there. Crossover.
Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Luke Skywalker was dead. This was a movie about passing on and Luke doing his final deed.
All right, you're a Star Wars fan in their prime. I'm old hat. What do you think is the future of this franchise?
I don't know. Disney everything. You like those little crystal foxes? Buy plussies. Buy lots of plussies. You like
you and I
buy a plushie.
You and I had the discussion that we know somebody from Disney called us a scientist lab or like, can you make us real porgs by Christmas?
Basically.
Didn't somebody have a hamster that was made to look like Pikachu one time? Remember that? They dyed it yellow and put horns on its head?
It sold on eBay for about $1 million. It was a fake list.
Staple the antlers on.
What a nightmare.
Like Scrooge.
No, the next Disney film is actually going to be a spin-off about the little ice foxes on the Arctic planet.
Yeah.
And it's going to be called Star Fox, a Star Wars story.
It's salt.
It's salt.
Yeah.
Jeff, the future is Goonies or Jedi.
Goonies or Jedi.
All the kids.
Yeah,
Alan, get in here.
No, I think that's.
Give Alan the mic there.
I think that's the direction it's going. Is it's passing the baton on to the kids. I mean, that's what Disney wants anyway, right? I mean, it's anybody can be.
Disney
a Jedi,
would be very happy if the adult fan collector got the hell out. Because we don't buy stuff anymore. If you could have a chart of my lifetime, starting in 1978 when toys were available, and how much each year I spent on Star Wars toys, like my mother spent a lot of money in 80, 81, 82, 83, and even into 84 and 85. But in 1995, when I was a working guy and toys came back, how much did I spend, Rachel? Since he's left me.
I heard my name.
If you had to guess, during 95, 96, 97, 98, how much a year did I spend on Star Wars toys?
Every penny.
5,000, 6,000, 7,000. We had an apartment teetering with boxed toys because I was going to retire on these things.
That's pre-Lego.
Pre-Lego, right?
Yeah.
So, guess what I spend now? Zero.
You know what I remember the most?
right?
Is when those metal action figures
Action
came out.
Masters.
And it was like the first thing that had come out in forever.
Yeah.
We spent our entire lives doing nothing but driving around to Toys R Us and buying those metal figures.
The Action Masters, little figures.
Yeah.
Was that before the Bend-Ems or after the Bend-Ems?
Right at the same time.
Because we were doing the business.
But the Action Masters were Kenner.
Dude, I was stoked on the
Oh,
Bend-Ems.
the Bendy. We drove to San Diego.
You don't understand
Jeff,
what
you
this
don't want a
means
chubby
to
Asian
me.
girl?
I'm like, no, I
Now,
understand.
let's jump back with the toys to the 70s and 80s.
Yes.
When you were a kid, when one would break, how much time would mom have to go back and replace the one that you lost or broke?
Well, here's
and
the-
there's the money that mom would go
Oh yeah, no,
replace that.
my mother was an enabler because I would look at GI Joe stuff or Legos or Crystar or whatever the toy line. She'd go,
exactly.
You collect Star Wars toys, and I was like, okay. And by that end, I had everything.
Okay, no, wait,
Yeah.
this is where I chime in. So when Jeff and I started dating, he said, you need to know about my love for Star Wars.
You need to know about my love for
And
Star
you need
Wars.
to know that there's three things that I still have not got. So mom did not come through for everything.
No, she didn't get me Princess Leia for my 14th
No,
birthday.
seriously, I did not know what these items were at that time. I knew the movie. I had a Princess Leia doll when I was little.
Yeah.
But he's like,
Life-size
I must
Princess Leia
have
doll.
a Han Solo in carbonite.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, we'll find it. I must have a Darth Vader speakerphone.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Because my dream was I was going to call James Earl Jones on it.
All right.
The third one was a large size
I got his number.
IG-88.
Yes.
What?
And you got all three of those items within the first 3 months of us dating. Because I'm like, my new man needs these things.
That's right.
He shall have them.
I should have said Cheryl Teagues.
And they live happily ever after. There you go.
Okay,
But here's the thing: is I don't buy this stuff. I go to the Star Wars aisle, and I'm aggressively looking for something I want to buy. There's nothing to buy.
And it just doesn't
There's
happen.
nothing to buy.
There's no.
When Force Awakens came out, there was no Luke Skywalker figure.
Disneyland
I would have bought a bunch of
popcorn
them. What's that?
Disneyland popcorn.
I'd buy the ad-at one, but I don't have the money to go to Disneyland and then spend $30 on a popcorn bucket. Or is there a Phasma
It was a TIE
icy
fighter.
head or something?
There is a Phasma Stein now.
Chrome dome?
There is a popcorn carbonite.
Oh, I have that because it came with a hamburger. Somebody gave it to me. Albert's here. Albert, give us your thoughts. You've seen it twice, right?
Once, but I haven't got to see it twice yet.
All right, what'd you think? The Last Jedi.
For the movie, I've been pretty conflicted for the most part. But, just reassuring what I felt of it, I thought it was pretty good for the most part. I mean, sure, there's some moments like, of course, the whole setup with the whole Vegas stuff.
Yeah.
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale.
And, stuff with the Leia, Woman of Steel, and a whole bunch of things.
What'd you think of the little guy putting money in BB-8 over and over again? Which I thought it was cute, except the payoff was like, how long did he sit and put money in him? Because like $80 came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't that much time in that.
No. And was that Mark Hamill? Have we discovered that was Mark Hamill?
The Horn Toad?
The guy putting money in BB-8. Somebody said that was Mark Hamill. Motion capture.
All right, sure.
No, but there's apparently the alien dog in somebody.
Who was it? Oh, it was his voice. Okay.
Yeah.
So what'd you think?
I thought that was pretty crazy. I guess it worked to its advantage. But
Yeah.
kind of makes you wonder, dang, how much did they put in them?
Yeah. I get it. There's a certain area where you just have to go with it,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how BB-8 rolls himself up into an ATST. I have no idea how that happens.
It's whatever.
He has no legs.
He got
But-
the long arm.
But I liked it at the end. He was like, "Yeah, I'm in an ATST." Like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
On the top,
I mean,
Why the hell not?
that's one of the things that I did like about the movie is that they kept getting into situations where it's impossible to get out of.
Yeah, well,
love
I was telling Austin, that's how I write my novels. Is I deliberately put them in a situation they can't get out of, and then I stop for like 2 weeks. I got to figure out how to get out of it.
Absolutely.
That's drama.
That's what makes a good
That's
movie.
what makes good drama, right?
Exactly.
Did you like when he scratched BB-8's belly? I thought that was silly. I didn't get it.
Funny.
I didn't get it.
Oh, I thought it was funny.
It did sort of a little bit of that
Why not?
MCU humor.
Luke's like smacking R2 around like
and at
Benny
the
Hill,
at
and
the
he's like,
beginning when BB-8's plugging all the electrical holes. I mean, it's funny.
and then he puts his head.
Sure.
Do you think there's a segment of people who don't understand how electricity works that were like, what was he doing?
He was plugging the holes.
Yeah, I get it, but like a
Sure.
lot of people are like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because when we did Trapped Year 2, there was a point where you had to plug
The human chain.
you had to plug an outlet that was
Sure.
running, that had water coming out of
Yeah,
it.
people just walked right up and plugged right in.
They were like,
They didn't care.
There's no threat anymore.
like, don't you know that this is, did you not
That's gonna
taught
hurt
anything
you.
as a child?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like the best laid plans, this is going to be scary. You're like, oh yeah, I'll plug it in.
Yeah. Oh, the guy says plug it in.
Yeah.
Plug it in.
They just assume you're at an amusement park.
I
They're
guess.
not gonna electrocute you.
At Six Flags, I would be scared to do that.
17th door they electrocute
So,
you.
what was your favorite part of the movie, Albert?
I think for me, the part in the end, pretty much when Luke Skywalker showed up, and yeah, that was crazy, man.
I had a lump in my throat because it was like Luke's back, he's on the battlefield. I hadn't figured out the twist yet, so to me, he was there, you know.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
better.
it was great until you find out he's not there. Then the whole thing goes.
You're too busy on the setup that Finn and her are gonna end up going into the cannon, and then they're cut off at the last moment.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, somebody has to do something.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: we've been led down so many roads in this movie that then veer to somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, I thought Kylo Ren and Rey were going to get together. I really did. I'm shocked it didn't happen.
He touched him.
Well, that was another
Yeah.
Kylo's bad, then he's good, then he's bad again. It's like, come on, man, you can't be flipping back and
Pick
forth.
one, man.
You can't do that.
He's good
I
cop,
actually
bad.
liked him
He's Riggs and Murtaugh in one person. Thank you.
I like him better in this movie.
Who?
Kylo?
I love Kylo in this movie.
I like him way better. In this
He is way
Less
better.
of a whiny.
What was the point you think of him taking his shirt
Still
off?
threw his tantrum.
Who was that for?
Me.
Was that for you?
It was a Zorro moment because he had the high waters.
Is that what it was? Was he the equivalent of Leia stripping down the bikini?
Oh, jeez.
It was weird, right?
Yeah, it was
Everybody was there like, why is he doing this?
That's why I don't have Skype or anything. It's like I don't want to I don't look good anyways. But like, oh, I gotta answer the phone. Look good. I get nervous when the missionaries come to the door. I'm like, do I? Yeah, they don't care. Yeah, where are you connecting that?
Yeah, I think in the movie, I think Kylo Ren was better utilized pretty much
Well,
compared to the last.
here's the thing though. Glenn's criticism is the reason I think a lot of us liked it was because we don't know. He says he's going to zig and then he zags. We don't know what he's up to. He kills his master and we think, oh, he's turned to the good side. No, he's still bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And then you kill the ultimate new bad guy immediately. Or
I was happy they killed Snoke.
Yeah,
He's a worthless character to me.
Yeah.
You cannot introduce a character. In my books, if I introduce a character that powerful and don't give him a
he
backstory,
has to have a reason, right?
F me.
I figured out his backstory. It's Porkins.
It's Porkins.
It's Porkins.
He's mad.
He looks like
After all
Ryan.
these years, now that the movies are inclusive, they would never name a character by their physical attributes.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's Porkins.
Here comes Skin'ems,
Yeah,
Black Eye.
that's right.
That's Mr. Black Eye.
That's Mr. Black Eye.
Deformed face.
It's Mr. Black.
Who's the guy that,
guy.
that Poe Dameron's like slapping his cheeks at the end?
Jeff, what was that toy with that guy?
It's Mr.
with
Cheeks.
The big old weird face.
Which guy? Hammerhead?
Hammer.
Momane Don.
No, it's Hammerhead.
It's Hammerhead to me. It's Hammerhead. All right. Albert, any last words you want on Last Jedi? Are you dying to get something out? You gonna see it again?
Yeah, there's a good chance I'm going to see it again.
You're the guy, like Austin. You're the new wave. You're the people they're selling this movie to. So is it working? That's the question.
I think it will be,
working.
and depending on, I'm not sure how they're going to set up episode 9, but I have a feeling that after they finish that episode, the trilogy in general,
Here's what you're up against, man. Guys
don't-
like Alan and me,
Episode 9,
we
I
don't
don't
care.
care.
What does it matter? The
Yeah.
story's done.
Yeah, they wrapped it up.
yeah,
Of course I'll go. Of course.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna see it. I mean,
I can
come
be
on.
aloof as much as I want.
but
I can murder my whole life, and then right before I die, I go, I accept Jesus. But see you in heaven.
It's like Manson.
Yeah.
but
I think
even though whatever's going to be coming, I think it's going to be good. It's going to be like Star Wars for a whole new generation, pretty much.
Well, I think that's what they should be doing. And these step backward. I think the Solo movie's a step backwards. I don't. What are you on a Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan movie? Is that something we need? Where it starts with him in this little cabin. He goes has a big adventure, and he's back in his cabin just in time to hear like, oh, there's Luke. I gotta go. Is that what we want?
No, we don't need that.
I don't want that.
No.
That's the rumor. But that Ewan McGregor's
Do you need the full Wookiee planet, like the Escape?
Oh God, no. No. That's gonna be in the Han Solo movie.
But Jeff, do you think if they do an Obi-Wan movie, do you think which version of the scream are they going to use, or the yell are they going to use?
Oh, right, because it changes, right?
Yeah.
Depending on which version of the movie you're watching.
Yeah.
And it's changed, what, 3 times?
Oh, every version. You know that in the first cut, Glenn can attest to this, in the first cut of A New Hope, right before the Death Star swing, she plants one on him. And then in every successive release, it's smaller and smaller until now it's a peck. But in the first version, she gives it to him.
Like this,
because they're going to be a couple.
Yeah. Or it's the end.
Well,
right.
yeah, but the idea is it's romantic, and he's going to bang her after this. Thank God that didn't happen.
It's the chivalry, right?
Can you imagine? How was it for you? I don't know, sis.
What do you think?
Grab her by the hair clippers.
Juan, do you want in on this? Where's Aaron? Does he want in on this?
Aaron, you want in?
Anybody? This is it. Come on, we're getting close. Anybody else want in? Get in. Star Wars.
Thank God Yoda was a puppet.
Thank God Yoda was a puppet.
Oh yeah, so much with that.
I thought it was great.
Jeff, I want to know where you think it's going to go. Or do you not care because Luke is dead and fans like me who spent 30 years on Luke are done?
Yeah, we'll switch out here. I think moving forward, I've already given my prediction. It's going to open with Leia's funeral. We're going to jump forward 5 or 6 years. In the crawl, it'll say, Princess Leia is dead.
But do we care? Or do we just get to enjoy new movies like they're Marvel movies?
I don't care. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. Emotionally, I'm done. I am divorced emotionally. Luke Skywalker literally rode off into the sunset the same way Indiana Jones did in Last Crusade. And if Crystal Skull never happened, I'm totally okay. I don't even. When I have it on the shelf, I don't even have Crystal Skull. If it comes in a set, you just fling it. It's a coaster.
Yeah.
What? Do you feel the same way?
I kind of do. I kind of feel
But
like.
I
feel. I don't know
ultimately
if I'm
that's the
super
goal.
angry or if I'm weirdly free now.
I think you're weirdly. The shackles of Star
I
Wars
like the
are off.
prequels because I was so emotionally invested in the Bible of the original trilogy. That maybe now I'm free.
I totally agree. I felt like at the end, like this is it, we're done. Hey, Star Wars, how was that? It was good. It was over. Awesome. Oh, cool.
It hurts though, Jeff.
You know,
it hurts to move on.
I said goodbye to Fast and the Furious on the third one.
I said goodbye before I saw the first one.
I think they're up to 10, right?
Just about. Yeah, they're going to space.
But I think there's other movies where
I'm joking.
They're going to space.
Going to space.
I think there's other movies where other franchises. I don't know. They'd have to totally reinvent. Like after Spectre, I'm done with James Bond.
Yeah.
It'd have to be really amazing a trailer to get me back into theater.
Female James Bond.
Absolutely. Okay. Idris Elba.
With Paul Feig writing it.
Oh no.
I am not done with Friday the 13th. Bring back Kane Hodder.
Ocean's 8.
Oh yeah, I just saw the trailer for that. That looks terrible.
You know what's going to be interesting though about the Quentin Tarantino doing the next Star Trek?
Yeah.
And it's going to be R-rated. If that goes off really well, that could change everything.
That could change everything. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could make an R-rated Star Wars movie. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Samuel L.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Get hit with the saber.
Yeah, he's back.
Makes motherfucker.
Yeah, man. What do you got, Bondi?
Honestly, I just want to know how roast pork tastes.
We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out at Galaxy's Edge next year.
A small part of me wished that Chewbacca did take a bite out of it.
When they finally showed it, and you could tell it was plastic, I was like, he's not gonna take a bite.
Right.
I wanted to just look at him in the eye and just eat it.
Yeah.
The whole time. It's chewy. He doesn't care. And he's just looking at him and go, "You're next, pal." Right? Yeah. I would have been totally okay with that.
I kind of
What does pork taste like? In your opinion, what would pork taste like?
Chicken. I don't know.
When the
Is there
saber
chickens
hit
in
the
there?
deck, it should have hit one of the porgs
Yeah.
and shot them off
Yeah.
too.
That would have been great too.
But they couldn't do it because they're not made of feathers. So it would've
Well,
been
they didn't do it because they want to sell every kid in the audience a plush porg.
Yeah, can't kill the cute man.
No, no.
Or the crystal coyotes.
But at least they
yeah.
didn't make a big deal out of the porgs. Like
No, we were all
I think a lot of
terrified. We
people thought.
all had ideas of like
At least
the ship crashing towards the surface and everybody plastered against the wall and they're like, hit the reset button, and the porg is like, you know, like, whoa,
Yes.
you know,
Or treble it up.
like Hooter, put in
Yeah.
the sail. You know what I mean? Everybody.
They did look pretty
With the roll of duct tape. at the-
CGI on those things was terrible.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I just blinked away. I didn't. They don't even. They're not even part of my world. You know what I mean? Here's the thing: Wicket and Tebow and Papaloo and Chirpa were all part of my world. The porgs, I could care less.
It tastes like pork.
I'm still more interested in the little black car that drives around.
The mouse droid, yeah, it made the same noise.
Still never fell in it.
30 years later, they're still the same technology. There's no upgrade to them. You know,
They're perfect.
Did you get a Captain EO vibe when they put the trash can over BB-8?
Yeah.
See you later, trash cans.
And him crashing into shit was pretty funny.
It looked just like Captain EO, though. How about Captain EO makes an appearance in the Star Wars universe? I'd be okay with that. If his ship went by,
It's Disney.
hell yes, hell yes.
That would be awesome.
Zach, you have any final thoughts?
Hey, you know what? I got a final thought here.
We're gonna wrap up. Final thoughts, anybody? We're getting final thoughts.
I'm gonna run something real quick with episode 9. I think
Go ahead.
8 was the
Where's it?
8 is the end. Alrighty. 8 is the end of our generation of Star Wars. 9 is going to be the beginning of the new generation for Jeff and I, our kids, and for those of you guys who have kids, it's for this new generation. I've got grandkids, and so I've got a 2.5-year-old grandson, and now he's like, Papa, Star Wars, Papa, Star Wars, and so he was.
You're like this cigarette, yeah.
Yep.
I remember Star Wars.
I remember Star Wars. Back in 1977, I was sitting there watching
died
it
in
with
1984 at an Eckert's drugstore in Athens, Georgia.
Way before Uber.
They had Wicked figures on clearance for 49 cents, and I didn't buy any.
Yeah, I already had 3 of them that I got for Christmas for my auntie. So she.
So episode 9 opens with
it's gonna
Leia's funeral.
Leia's funeral.
Cut to young children being trained to be Jedi, and then the whole movie is 90% children, like Bugsy Malone.
No more
Precisely.
Jedi.
Oh God, Bugsy Malone.
Jedi. It's just the
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the start of a whole new cast of characters and going into a whole new generation
it's
of
all
Star Wars
diverse.
movies. It's all diverse.
There's a gay Jedi and a bisexual Jedi.
Exactly.
A transgender Jedi. And there's a
Precisely.
straight Jedi that nobody likes because he's the
right.
And
a hermaphrodite.
there's a
Jedi,
hermaphrodite Jedi.
Exactly.
There's a cross-dressing Jedi. There's a
Precisely.
non-binary cisgender Jedi.
Correct.
There's SJW Jedi. He's the social Jedi, justice warrior Jedi.
One of the
An
little
emo
Fox features
Jedi.
is going to be a furry Jedi.
There's a furry Jedi.
AI Jedi. Yeah, exactly.
And they don't
Yeah.
fight, they just all get upset and retreat to their safe spaces in the universe.
And there's going to be 4 in the background that you don't quite notice, but then you do, and they're all dressed in kiss makeup.
Yes,
so.
the kiss makeup, yes.
Yeah,
And
the
it's
kiss
95 minutes of people being offended by everything.
Precisely.
There's a period of Civil War. Civil War? Oh, I remember the Civil War. I'm totally triggered now. Oh, wait. Start again.
So,
it's just the whole movie
so-
just keeps starting again.
Yeah, exactly. No. It's not going to be Civil War this time. It's going to be Galaxy War 2.
Galaxy War 2.
Galaxy
No, it
War
has to
2.
sound
We've already
prettier
had
than
Civil
that.
War.
Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, Galaxy's Edge.
What is the name of the next Star Wars movie, Zach?
A new flower.
The next Star Wars movie is going to be like something like the final Jedi, or like or
Jedi Return.
The Last Jedi 2. The Search for More Cash.
no, it's gonna be like
Jedi 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, I like that.
Star Wars Episode 9. Please give us more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be something, either gonna be something totally mundane, or it's gonna be like, if you've noticed, like The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi from a nap. or something like that. So people are like,
I just hate the logo. That it's Star Wars with the title in the middle.
Oh yeah, no.
But it used to be
what's
Star
up with
Wars
that?
wrapped around the big title.
You have to squint to see it too.
Yeah, I
It's
don't like
really,
it.
I'm old.
I don't like it at all.
It's because we got to use reading glasses
Justin,
now. It's
what's
our
going to be
age.
the name of the next Star Wars movie?
I don't care.
What is it, The Simpsons? And they go, Star Trek 10, so very, very tired.
I was just talking to Tyler outside for a
Yes.
second, and I just said, if I can get over Luke, then maybe Ryan Johnson gave me a present. Maybe he freed me. Because if it's the kids' Star Wars movie, it's not the '80s kids' Star Wars movie anymore, and it's all the new kids. It's my son's Star Wars.
Yes.
They can have as many jumpy Yodas as they want, fighting Count Dookie Dookie, and do whatever they want. And I won't care because the Skywalker saga is closed.
It's
Go
over.
watch them. It's like the Lego movie now, and there's no problem. So maybe he freed us.
Star Wars
I'm okay with
Episode
that.
9, The Return of Darth Jar Jar.
Well, here's the thing. They've pulled from episodes 4, 5, and 6. They're going to have to come up with some original ideas now, unless
yeah.
they go back to the prequels.
No,
Yeah.
no one's doing that.
Oh, wait, no, they did that in the first movie. They blew up the whole Senate, so don't worry about that. There's no
No
boring
one's
politics.
doing that.
Remake the prequel.
Episode 9, The Search for New Writers.
If there's a writer's room for the next Star Wars movie, and the first guy that raises his hand, he goes, well, Naboo, out. You're out. That's it. You're just out.
That's why the prequels make you so angry, because you're so invested. That's my Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's not your Star Wars.
No, it's not. It's for children now. And here's the thing.
For our kids.
Tell me, now we're devolving again. The reason I got so mad at Phantom Menace was I got mad at myself because I go, well, this movie's obviously aimed at children. There's a dopey guy stepping in dog shit in the movie. So it's made for children. Does that mean the other Star Wars movies are made for children? Am I an idiot? That I like these children's movies and just never stop liking them? That can't be right. Star Wars is I refuse to call it New Hope. Star Wars.
Right. Yes.
It's not for children. It's for everybody.
Yeah.
The reason it's so good is they don't talk down to children.
And I think he wanted to make something beyond a normal movie. That was young George Lucas' whole thing. THX, the rebel filmmaker, and then everyone who came after him, Mark Wand, and they built on that. And then when the prequels came around, it's like, I want to play with my new technology.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
all
you're
about.
messing with my Star Wars.
Well, the first thing he said to Ryan Johnson was, "Why'd you build so many sets?" Right. You're like, because George, people want to walk into an environment and not look at a tennis ball on a stick.
Exactly.
Right?
You get kind of confused after the tennis ball and the stick.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
Star
well.
Wars is over, and I don't know if I can handle it. Look, I got divorced, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Did Andy
right?
Serkis-
Eventually.
So this
But
is-
at
Serkis
first,
actually have to
I was
put on
very
makeup?
upset.
You're bitter.
That's me with the last
You're
one.
bitter now.
Yeah, but
But you're going to go through the 7 stages of grief, and you're going to finally arrive at acceptance.
Yeah, he's at text me every day, whatever stage that is. That's the stage right now is to text Tyler every day.
What does he text?
No
Just
context.
anger?
Luke doesn't call
Just
anymore.
Why? I just
Why?
get the why. Or dude,
Why,
I just woke
Luke?
up. I just woke up from a nap. I'm so pissed. Why, dude?
Why?
Like I have an answer. I
Did
just
Benicio del Toro stutter?
Why not episode 9?
Yeah,
Do you have
what was up
you're
with
a
that?
writer.
Usual
Why
suspects
didn't he
carry
die
the
in
race.
episode 9? Just why?
What?
You're a writer. Why didn't he die in episode 9?
Who, Luke?
Yeah.
Oh, because if you had to ask, not from a writer, because from a writer's point of view, I would have left it as a cliffhanger and continued it on. I know where the money is and the bread and butter. I would
Where is it,
guess.
by the way?
I would guess that Mark Hamill is a big asshole to work with. You've seen the interviews. He's a big curmudgeon. He hated the script. He hated what he did with Luke. He probably fought with this guy every day. And Ryan Johnson finally said, "Look, don't even show up for the last day. We'll film somebody else from the back, and we'll fade you away." Thank you, Mr. Hamill.
You think so?
Absolutely.
But you think they intentionally removed him for a good reason, or it's
They're
just
probably done. Because every time you keep another star like this, you got to pay him more.
right?
He got a full salary for one day's work on Force
That
Awakens.
reminds me of the one thing I was going to say. Don't you think Laura Dern's character should have been Leia?
Oh, absolutely.
Sacrificing
Absolutely. We've all said that.
I missed all that.
I'm actually disappointed that we're not going to get more of her because I actually kind of liked her a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, they should have
Felt it was
switched
kind of a
places and give
wasted
us
character.
Ellie Sattler.
I thought we were swapping out.
Yeah.
But apparently, no. They didn't kill Leia, which I thought was bizarre.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, she's dead.
Yeah.
See,
It would have
she's
been,
dead.
it would have been a perfect
Well, who knew?
See, would more people be
It would've
more
been a
pissed
perfect
off
out.
that they killed Leia or that they kept her alive? 'Cause she's the only one that's left. And that's like, everyone's like, but she's dead now. But she's alive in the movie.
I used to work at the video store. People rented Young Guns 2, and they'd bring it back to the store mad because it had a different cast.
What?
And I go, did you see the first? We loved the first movie. They all died. Yeah. You're aware of this, right? People have no memory, man. You could open you could open the next Star Wars movie with Luke Skywalker making breakfast. People would go, "Oh yeah, he's back."
He just faded. He bounced out for a sandwich.
Yeah,
he's good. So that they're Skywalker.
Oh, I think in the next film, Kylo turns to the light and she turns to the dark.
That'd be sick.
That would be.
I would love
want
that.
A badass
I would love
chick villain.
that.
Wrath of Ren.
Absolutely, man.
That would have been like that would have been an interesting parallel where they switched.
For Force Awakens, I thought the final battle should have been the reveal, not of Snoke, but of whoever the bad guy is, was Leia. And she's the ultimate evil in the galaxy. And she's pitting her son against her former husband, lover, father now. I thought that would have been fantastic. I mean, you can armchair direct all day. No one's going to give me control of the Star Wars universe.
I know why.
That's why I invented my own.
I just realized why Luke died in the middle of The Last Jedi. Because Han did it first in the Force Awakens.
Yes.
Because Luke wants to be Han.
That's it, huh?
He's mad because Han got the girl.
His sister.
It doesn't matter. Han got the girl. How many girls are there in the friggin' universe?
Expanded universe, Luke marries Mara Jade.
Yeah, but that's all non-canon now.
Thank God. You know that Lucasfilm hired a chick to be Mara Jade?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they had an official Mara Jade for trading cards magazines. There's no movie with Mara Jade.
She does the cosplay. I was hoping they would show her at the end of the credits with a baby.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh no.
Any last thoughts? We're going to wrap up. This is it. I want to thank you all. This has been amazing. This is so much fun. Hey, you know what? This is so much more fun when you like the movie. The other two were like, God, I gotta talk about that movie. I gotta talk about Rogue One. This one was like, oh yeah, I want to talk. I want to go see that movie again. I'm gonna go to the Van Buren swap meet and buy it on Blu-ray. You know, if you put a bootleg in a PS4, it doesn't play it. It tells you this isn't a real movie.
Because it's online.
You're like, I know it's a real movie. I may have to call the police. Like, how? No, just give me the. I had to buy one of those Walmart players to watch my bootlegs.
Oh
wow. Yeah.
They'll play anything.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, they will.
Any last thoughts? Star Wars.
Go see it.
Go see it.
Yeah, go see it.
No, go see it.
Go see it.
Don't be so critical.
If you're listening to this, you've already seen it.
Yeah.
I know it was
Go see
you,
it
Ryan
again.
Johnson. You broke my heart. I would say for anybody that maybe didn't like it, you have to see it at least one more time.
Yes.
Because then
At
all those
least.
expectations and preconceived notions are gone, and you can just watch a movie that you
Yes.
got.
Watch the movie saying to yourself, Luke Skywalker is dead.
It's like everybody here, the
He's a
first
ghost.
girl you was with, you should look her up and do it again to see if it was good or bad.
Well, I mean, there's also you have to look at
Honey?
I'm wondering if I watch it again, Luke was dead the whole time.
So maybe it comes
Maybe it was, right? That was my theory on the Goldbergs.
I like that.
My theory on the Goldbergs was that Grandpa's
Grandpa's
dead.
theory on this the next
Luke
time.
was just a ghost the whole time. He only
That's
interacted
what
with the people that he
what I'm
was
thinking.
closest with.
You know what happened is he tripped
J.J.
and fell off the island, tried to use the mechanical hand, and it fell off.
Yeah, no mechanical hand fell at the end.
No,
Maybe he's
I
still
think
alive.
that was also natural projection.
He's more machine than human now.
Maybe he just teleported to somewhere else.
Yeah. I'm telling you, do a fanboy cut where he disappears, and then the Enterprise just flies away, and they're like, we got him, Captain. You know, done deal. And he's on the bridge of the Enterprise. All right, well, I want to thank everybody for coming out. This has been so much fun. Oh my God. You could talk about Star Wars for another hour, right, Al? Another hour.
Absolutely.
You could just keep going and going.
I just saw it today. I want to go see it again right now.
You want to see it again?
I'm
yes,
down.
I do.
Porg, yes or no?
I'm anti-pork.
Anti-pork.
They look delicious.
My
Yes,
wife went to
they
5
look
stores
delicious.
looking for pork pez. Pork pez.
They're delicious, the pork
They
pies.
look delicious. I really want to try it.
You know what?
Well,
I'm ready
hey, go
for a
see
pork
Star
sandwich.
Wars: The Last Jedi. and see who on the show you agree with. Are you meh? Did you dig it? Did you like it? I'm not 12 anymore. I don't go to the movies 100 times. It's Back to the Future I saw in a theater 40 times maybe that summer, like every single day. I'm not that guy anymore. I'll watch it a couple more times and then it'll be another movie on my shelf. But if I want to hang out with Luke Skywalker again, you put it on, you hang out with Luke.
There you go.
And then you watch him fade away. Maybe he's the witch and he got water on him.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
The ocean's
What a galaxy!
What a galaxy!
I want him now.
I want my Luke Skywalker back. I want to take him to the old
Do you know how many
West.
balls I have that are useless now? I want to
go home and
drive
make
him
all
off
his
in a
action figures
Corvette.
I have a whole bunch of large-sized Lukes in my cage. That's my
Throw 'em away
favorite.
now, dude.
My favorite. No,
He's gone now.
he's still Luke.
When you get home, he's going to be
Look,
disappeared.
just because my dad walked out, he's still my dad. What have we done?
Okay, real quick. Who wants to drive off with Luke Skywalker in a Corvette?
Yeah, Corvette Summer.
Corvette Summer, baby.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Check out after the music plays. There's another 40 minutes to the show of just me and the family talking about Star Wars before we did this show. So there's a lot of Star Wars to go around.
It's like the movies. It's never ending.
It never ends.
Nice.
Austin could talk about it all night.
There'll be a spin-off show where it's just me talking about how much the prequels mean to me. It'll be called
Whoopie Whoopie.
But what'll it be called? It'll be called Austin Loves the Prequels, a Star Wars Disney story.
Oh boy, you'll be doing that one solo. Thanks for tuning in to this Star Wars filled episode of
91 Reasons. May the Force be with you.
Thanks for listening. By Gramthar's Hammer. We'll be back with another episode. Live long and prosper. May the Force be with you. So say we all. Hey, hey, hey.
So we just got back from the big movie event of the year.
That's right. It was
Justice
Jumanji,
League,
yeah.
Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. No, this is, we're sitting down quietly because we're going to have a round table where everybody gets to chime in and talk about the last Jedi movie, the latest Star Wars movie. But I thought, it's quiet now. We'll do just a little mini slice of an episode here, just for first reactions, because we just got done seeing it. And we were late to the party, because everybody saw this thing 2 days ago, right, or yesterday. And I told everybody I wasn't seeing it until Saturday. I have to work. So we saw it Saturday morning. It's Saturday afternoon now, and we're just going to give our first impressions of the film. Who wants to go first? Austin, Luna, Rachel?
Austin, you're closest to the
I don't
mic.
know what to say.
I'll go first.
You go first.
My expectations were very low for this film. I was not a fan of either The Force Awakens or Rogue One. Force Awakens was a rehash of New Hope, almost down beat by beat. Rogue One was just a very cruddy movie, made terribly. So here's the thing. I got home. I posted a little tiny blurb that I enjoyed the movie, and I'm being inundated now with all of my friends who are telling me how much they hated it. I don't understand. If people hate this movie, I don't know what they're waiting for or looking for in a movie. If you're looking for the same tired movie with a villain that can blow up a planet again, I'm done with that. How many times we've had that in Star Wars? We had it in Return of the Jedi. We had it in The Force Awakens. And we had it in Rogue One.
Phantom Menace.
I mean, it's the same plot over and over again, right? So, and there's even the Death Star at the end of Sith. This is the first film without any mention of the Death Star. I thought this film was fantastic. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
That.
I'm a cynic. I'm hard to please. I get it. I was terribly worried how they were going to treat the character of Luke Skywalker, because we all know in the pages of Star Wars, the minute you introduce Luke Skywalker into a battle, he just waves his hand and everything collapses. He's that powerful. So how do you mute that power? And I thought what they came up with was pretty brilliant. So the movie opens with an extended action scene where the good guys are trying to escape the bad guys, and the bad guys are going to wipe them out completely, right?
The opening was the weakest part of the movie.
Yeah, it was too long. I didn't care. It was. Here's the thing. You know at the beginning they're going to get away, so there's no tension at the beginning of who's going to die. Although they did show this Asian pilot girl die, and I thought, wasn't she the big action figure poster girl? But we're going to find out later she has a sister. So I was confused.
I thought they killed her off really early.
I thought so too. Like, oh, that's like Constable Zuvio all over again, right? So the fleet is escaping the bad guys. They can't jump to hyperspace because the bad guys can follow them. I was telling Luna, this is the exact plot of Battlestar Galactica, one of their best episodes, where they keep having to jump every 21 minutes to avoid the Cylon fleet. It's a fantastic episode, and I was terrified this movie was going to turn into that, but it doesn't do that, right? Instead, they keep just enough out of their shields that the bad guys can't get to them, and they're running out of gas. So there's a time lock on the movie. This is what George Lucas calls a time lock. They have so many hours or days to do whatever they need to do, or the bad guys win. And in a nutshell, before I get into the actual specifics of the film, the reason I enjoyed this movie, I told you guys earlier, was that the basis for good drama, the basis for good tension, is you watch your characters plan something, they go to do it, and then the plan falls apart. That's good drama. That's how things are supposed to go in good... And I can give you a million examples of that. We're doing a show, Josie, about the movie. You want to come in?
I thought you were not supposed to do that until Tuesday.
This is going to be after the roundtable. We're not going to air.
After Tuesday.
So, the Italian Job. They spend the whole movie setting up how they're going to rob with these little cars, and then it doesn't work that way. Ocean's 11, nothing goes to plan. They have to think on the fly, right? So that's good drama. And this movie had so many points. I was reminded most, this is going to sound funny, Luna. I was reminded of every time Harry Potter tries to do something and Umbridge shuts it down. Mm-hmm. It's that kind of stymie where you're constantly trying to run the characters further down the plot and they keep getting stymied, right? But that's good drama. Nothing should ever go to plan. Otherwise, they would just plan it and there's no drama, no tension.
Rogue One needed.
Rogue One had none of that, right? Same with the book version of Ready Player One.
Yeah,
Wade's plan goes swimmingly to the smallest detail, right? So in this film, they finally get back to Rey handing Luke the lightsaber. They play it out again, which I thought was interesting. And he casually does what?
He throws the lightsaber off the cliff.
He just throws it. I thought that was great. It shows you right off the bat where Luke's head is. There's a little bit of Wizard of Oz there where she's banging on the door trying, I want to be a Jedi. Nobody gets to be a Jedi. You know what I mean? So Rey spends half the movie on this island following Luke around, desperate to find out why he won't come back, what's going on, will she be trained, and who is she, right? That's the big question of the film. Who is Rey? Because she's got all this power, and she's being tempted by the dark hole in the island, right? So finally, Rey succumbs to the dark side and goes in the hole. And you think they're building up to this big reveal of who her parents are, and nothing happens.
It's just
Nothing. She does a chorus line with herself, right? One singular sensei. You know we don't get that reference, but that's what it looked like. So you get this idea like Luke's not going anywhere. He's not going to go. He sends her on. You get in the Falcon and leave. There are some funny moments with Chewie trying to eat a barbecued porg.
I'm waiting for our turns, not just chiming in.
Okay, you're waiting for eating a barbecued pork. There's a lot of fun, cute moments. The nuns on the island are interesting. Luke, showing how Luke... we don't need to see the milk thing. It's stupid.
You don't like the milk?
No. And then when he spears a fish...
I thought that was a little weird. It wasn't needed.
Well, he spears a fish, and then cut to him carrying the fish. And I went, Well, how did he get the fish out of the water, up the cliff? You know, again, you're not supposed to worry about that. If the movie's working, you don't worry about that. They're just showing you that Luke's been here a long time. He's not going anywhere. They show you his X-Wing submerged. He's deliberately crashed his X-Wing so that he can't leave. And he shows Rey the magic Jedi books from the magic library tree. And she leaves. He's not going with her. But what we've seen up until this point is Rey communicating through Jedi Skype with Kylo Ren, and they talk to each other, and they can see each other, right?
They can see each other.
Because she tells him at one point to put a shirt on.
I was expecting a lead up to a shot where it had like them next to each other and the background blended between worlds. Yeah, we never got that.
They didn't have to do that. Yeah, they're like, we won't spend money on that.
It's funny though, because when the trailers came out, people were like, the lighting behind Kylo and Ren are totally different. So they're not actually talking to each other in this scene. No, they were. That's not how it works.
It's like they're long distance. So they've established that the Jedi can do this, and I'm okay with that because if you look back in the original trilogy, Luke called to Leia to pick him up on Cloud City. Vader called to Luke.
Ben called to Luke of the Death Star Twins.
Yeah, I mean, they have done this before. And even Luke, when he's on the shuttle, goes, Vader's on that ship. He's going to sense me here, and I'm going to blow the mission, right? So there's been a precedent for that. So I'm okay with that. It's an extension of the Jedi's powers, right? So Rey's going to give herself up to the First Order, and in a scene right out of Return of the Jedi, is taken before Snoke, who is playing the part of the Emperor. And what I really liked about this sequence is that nothing went the way you thought it was going to go. Rey and Kylo Ren don't have another lightsaber battle against each other. It's not that. And instead, Kylo's got something in him that needs to be with Rey. I'm not sure what it is. But he kills his master for her. In what was a really clever sequence of rotating a lightsaber 2 times and igniting one but not the other. Clever, clever, clever. And then they battled those red guys. That was Maximilian from Black Hole, right?
Absolutely.
Then they battled Maximilian from Black Hole. And then you guys can chime in at any time. So then what was interesting is that then he's like, you need to be with me. We need to be together. We'll rule the galaxy as, I don't know, what, life partners or something? I don't know. Co-workers. And she's going to resist him, which, given my take on it, I wanted her to take his hand and go, absolutely, buddy, let's do it.
Yep.
That's what I wanted.
That's what we all want.
What I want in this movie is, forget Captain Phasma. She's worthless, right?
Was it a girl?
Yeah, that was.
I looked like a boy.
No, Phasma's a girl. It's the lady from.
What was the reveal in showing her eye? Just that she's human?
That she's human. Why did the helmet come off? It didn't make that.
They should have just taken the helmet
Made
off.
no sense, right? But what I want to see in this movie is Kylo Ren sitting on a throne next to a Sith witch Jedi, a female, badass, leather-clad Jedi chick who kills him and Rey takes over the galaxy. That would have been amazing. What a story arc. She's carrying his baby or something. I don't know, right? And instead, they have this battle of wills that results in Luke's lightsaber from Cloud City being split in half. Because it's showing you what? They're equal in power.
Right, they're
completely equal in power, right? Rey has his lightsaber at one point. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
She gets hit in the head with a lightsaber. That would have been a great image.
With the red lightsaber.
Heck yeah, man. That'll be a figure. Rey with Kylo's lightsaber.
With the other lightsaber.
Exclusive.
It's just like a mispack.
So there's this other subplot of the bad guys are tracking him through hyperspace, so they have to knock that out, but they can't get on the ship unless they have a code breaker, so they go to a casino.
That's a subplot. It had just as much screen
B
time.
plot.
It's
a
more.
B plot.
It's
It's a
total
B plot.
Yes.
Is it on a B plot,
No,
Josie?
it had the exact same screen time and length that the other
Oh,
one had.
I wouldn't know because I went to the bathroom during those scenes.
Went to the bathroom.
Those
Oh,
were the
they were
bathroom
just
breaks.
equal to it.
As soon as they cut away from Luke and Way, it's like, oh, bathroom.
Yeah, the
break
time to
now.
use the bathroom in this movie is any time they're not on the island.
It's true.
You're not missing
The
anything.
Rebel sip scenes are just recap and exposition and recap and exposition. And the
It's needed. It's just you can also go to the bathroom during those.
But they're also, what I said, like they're going to set up this plan, and then it's not going to happen that way because they finally find the code breaker guy, right? The snooty Johnny Depp looking
he's in
guy.
there like 10 seconds.
And they don't go to him.
No.
Instead, they get arrested and they have to go to the Collector from Guardians of the Galaxy, right? What did you think of his stutter?
I don't know what he was doing. I couldn't understand him.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, well, Benicio del Toro has a reputation for being undecipherable on screen. His first big break, he's been in a lot of movies, but his big breakthrough movie was The Usual Suspects, where he's like, and the producers are like, we can't understand him. Well, that's his character. He's doing that on purpose. So
This guy's got a cool.
he's he's been in a lot of big movies. He's had a weird career trajectory, and I was frankly like, there was a rumor he was going to have a cameo in this, but I didn't realize it was going to be such a big part.
It was enough for like an action figure and a pop vinyl.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. More than some of the. Here's the other thing. Josie was asking, "Where's the rest of the toys?" The movie has tons of opportunities for toys, and they just didn't make them.
No.
So the casino thing goes awry. He turns out to be a bad guy. They're arrested again, and they're going to be terminated, right? Mm-hmm. And the rebel fleet, who they think is getting away to this little planet, which I thought was odd because it's like, well, where would they go?
Yeah.
Other than that
The
planet.
whole setup with the two ships at odds doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, why are they just allowing? Why can any ship just fly off? They fly off to that casino planet just fine.
Yeah, no, exactly right. Like, there's a lot of things that you have to give
Like,
up for it.
Why isn't the Empire trying to board the rebel ship? Just send a TIE fighter over
Just
with
send
some men in it.
100 TIE fighters over. Yeah, I didn't get any of that. They're just like waiting them out.
I was saying the Star Wars canon at this point has gone so far, and there's so many little intricate details. They're just going to have to stick with it being an inconsistent mess and just enjoy the good stuff.
Well, that's what happens when it's more than one person's vision.
It's true,
I'm George
It
Lucas.
is. It's a lot of people's vision classing together in a mess, but it has good parts, so...
Well, here's the thing.
This movie's not a mess, Austin. I don't know if we
The movie-
saw the same movie.
The movie had some weird problems. I'll give you that. But the stuff that it got right,
It absolutely
I
did
thought that it
really
got
well.
so right
Yeah.
that it overshadowed it. And that's all you could ask out of a movie. I love Spider-Man Homecoming. Does it have its problems?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of
But it's the best
problems.
it's amazing.
But I thought it was fun. This movie...
That's the best movie of the year.
This movie had enough moments that I was transfixed by it. When Luke finally sees R2 in the Falcon, and they gave you that Falcon scene where he picked up the dice,
Yeah.
wah, wah, wah. But when he goes, give me one good reason why I should go back. I didn't know what he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But then he plays the message from A New Hope.
Yeah.
Which I thought, I started crying. It was so good. That's taking something that we know and really using it to your advantage. I thought that was great. The other example of that is, what am I going to say?
This big spoiler, Yoda.
Yoda is in the movie.
Steals the show.
He's a puppet.
A wheel Muppet. It's amazing.
And he screws with Luke because Luke's going to set the Jedi library on fire, the magic tree, and he can't do it. So Yoda shows up and uses lightning to set it on fire. And what Luke doesn't know is Rey's already stolen the books.
Yeah.
They're already gone by that time.
There's nothing in there.
You see them on the Falcon at the end of the movie and for a half a second. But what we get is a touching scene between Luke and Yoda saying to Luke and to us, the audience, that Yoda's always, what's Yoda's big thing? Do or do not, there is no try. He walked that back in this one. Because he's saying now, failure is the best teacher. That you have to fail again and again and again until you can do it. And that's where Luke finally gets, okay, I have to somehow go back and help the rebellion. And that's where that's left
And that's
off,
really
right?
the theme of the whole movie, is the failure thing.
Everybody fails. You have to fail to succeed, right?
I thought the scene where Yoda and Luke was sitting on a log and just watching the tree born, like, that was beautiful.
Yeah, there was that long shot. I was like, oh, it's
sweet.
That's the kind of stuff I want. I'm happy they took a moment.
You know, like, everyone screams about big sips and lightsaber. Who cares? I like the little Muppet Man sitting on the log.
Yeah,
I like when Kermit the Frog showed up.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And then he doesn't go lift
Are there
the
so
X-Wing
many?
up.
Yeah, we kept the minute they showed the X-wing, we were like, oh, we're gonna see the Dagobah.
He's gonna rise up and play the music.
And instead, what they did was they made us think that scene had happened without us being there, because at the finale of the movie, Luke does show up when all seems lost. Luke Skywalker shows up in an impossible place. How does he know where they're at? We don't know, but in movie talk, we're like, it's Luke. Who cares, right? He has a touching moment with Leia, gives her the dice from Han's ship, and then goes out to face Kylo Ren one last time. Because we've been told now that the reason the Jedi Order fell is Luke tried to murder Kylo Ren.
Luke tried to murder a child in his sleep.
So Luke realized how evil he was. And here's the thing. If you knew Charles Manson when he was a teenager and you knew what he was going to grow up to be, would you kill him in your sleep? In his sleep? Would you murder Hitler in his sleep? Yes, you would. So we can't really fault Luke for that, right? But
Comparing Kylo Ren to Hitler?
well, yeah, that's the Empire is Hitler.
They blew up a planet in the last movie.
Yeah, once they kill people and once they commit genocide.
Kylo Ren showed this
He's defending
movie
the emo man.
He did what?
He's not as terrible as he killed his own master.
Dad, they're trying to sell lunch boxes here.
No. Here's the thing, honey. I love you to death, but once you kill your own father, there's no coming back from that.
Oh, he's my favorite character.
He was a great character in this movie. I liked him a lot more than I did in the first one. And part of the reason, he took that helmet off.
He took the helmet off.
I was never a fan of that helmet. It looks like he has Betty Rubble hair in that helmet. I don't like it.
Even Snoke was like, take it off.
Take it
I can't
off.
understand
He's
what
like,
you're saying.
You're like, take that helmet off. I don't want to hear your voice. And the other thing we found, which was funny about the whole movie, is every time they cut to Kylo Ren, we just go, he looks like Austin.
I know, it drove me crazy the whole movie.
What did I say? There's a moment when Kylo's coming down the gantry, and I just go, chicken strips.
Oh my god. I didn't even, that's so funny. Oh my god. There were a lot of face shots in this movie, dramatic breathing shots. Every time they cut to Kylo Ren, I swear it was like looking at a mirror. Because as someone who looks at his face a lot, you know,
yeah. Well, and also, as you notice, he has terrible skin. Well, most movie stars, when they move up on George Clooney, he looks flawless.
Yeah.
When they move up on Matt Damon that close, it's like, wow, they've digitally erased any blemish, right? Kylo Ren looked like he was late for 7th period. You know what I mean? Like, he had acne, and he had that scar, which the scar is part of the movie, I get that. But yeah, Luke shows up at the end, and they blast him with lasers, and he's still there, and the big reveal hasn't been, they haven't pulled the curtain back yet, but I thought he looks like he did when he tried to murder Kylo Ren, and he's also got a lightsaber that we just saw get destroyed.
Yeah, it's the wrong color. It should have been green. And like, wait a second.
And he won't fight him. Instead, he's doing Matrix stuff where he's flipping over.
He leans backwards like the Matrix.
He did the Matrix. You guys don't want to hear my jokes from the movie, but I was almost like, Neo's fighting Morpheus, right? So then Kylo just cuts him in half.
Yeah.
He cuts Luke in half, turns around, and Luke's still there, and you're like, boy, Luke's got some serious Jedi.
Yeah, I thought it was
going, man.
powers going on.
Holy moly, he is a god among men. And then Kylo stabs him like the same exact way he stabbed Han Solo, and you're like, oh wait a minute, somebody's playing games here. Luke's not there. Then they cut to Luke back on the island, meditating, floating in the air like Birdman, and he's projecting himself. Is that a cop-out, or is that an amazing turn of events?
It's a good switch, because they bait you with the strike me down in anger quote. Like, oh, he's going to slash him, he's going to collapse into a cloak, he's going to be a ghost in the next movie. And then that happens. It's totally different.
Austin?
Well, my take on it
What's your
is
take?
sort of my theme on the whole movie. I am telling you guys, Luke Skywalker was never alive during a second of screen time.
You think he's dead the whole time?
He was a ghost. It's Unbreakable style. Let me explain. Luke Skywalker was a powerful enough forced ghost that everyone he was connected to could see him. When he walked in the room in fake Echo Base, Leia turned around to look at him, but nobody else did. The rebels didn't go, it's Luke Skywalker, the myth.
C-3PO did.
Well,
he's a robot. He doesn't have force. So
Then how did R2D2 see him?
Because R2 and 3PO are the two people most connected to Luke Skywalker.
winked at 3PO,
Oh, that's what
right?
the wink. Yeah, I'm going back to the scene. That's what the wink was for.
I'm not really here, man.
Yeah,
he
I'm
was
not
letting,
really
he
here.
was letting 3PO in on it.
Yeah.
And Luke never touches any physical items. How would he have lived on that island? Why would he have lived on that island? I'm telling you, it's metaphorical. He doesn't really do that. When Kylo crosses the rubble in the flashback on Luke, he's very clearly dead. I cannot believe
It's an interesting theory.
And wait, it goes
Oh,
further.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize there was more to this.
He only ever touches and interacts with one physical object the whole movie, the dice. And at the end of the movie, the dice end up in Kylo Ren's hands. Kylo Ren looks at the dice, crosses his fist, opens them, and the dice fade away. Like a ghost. Nothing. It was all a ghost.
It's an interesting theory. It's the theory I have about the grandfather on the Goldbergs, right? And he's been dead the whole time, right? I don't know about that. I have to see the movie again and really look
Watch
at
the
it.
movie knowing he's a ghost.
I
caught on
to
to it
rewatch
earlier.
the Falcon chase at the end. Are the dice dangling there, or where are they? Where's the real dice?
Yeah, I don't know.
The ghost. Those are ghost dice he hands to Leia.
Yeah.
Are the real ones on the island, or are they back on the Falcon? And there's two dice, if you notice.
We have to watch it again.
We have to watch it again. It's really good. I'd watch it again.
Here's the most amazing part of the film is Rachel and Josie stayed awake.
I don't think I've ever stayed awake for a whole movie at a theater.
You haven't been awake for a whole movie in years.
Nope. I don't remember.
So, Luke is revealed to be a ghost. There's an extended sequence of him staring at the sun. The music is the exact same from New Hope. And it looked as if, and I was really hoping they weren't, it looked like something was coming out of the sun to get him.
Yeah, they zoomed on the sun with something there.
And there was something in the middle. I thought, oh, here comes like Flying Ben. Like, I've come to take you home. Luke. They showed restraint. And instead, Luke just vanished the way Obi-Wan vanished in A New Hope. I was totally okay with that. I know there's a lot of people that are going to say, that's a cop-out. He wasn't there. We didn't get a Luke fight. Do we really want an old Luke lightsaber fight?
No,
I wasn't.
no.
Here's the thing. Luke fought Darth Vader at the end of Return of the Jedi. We're done.
We're done. He dies a hero's death now. He just fades away.
I don't need to see any of that. And I think that had he pulled his saber out and fought Kylo Ren,
It should have been done.
it would have been fan service. Strike me would have done,
Yeah.
When you left, I was but a learner, only a master of, it would have been the same dialogue. They probably would have, I'm sure they had a meeting with like, this is what we want to do. And the director was like, can we try a different approach? It doesn't have to rhyme all the time. It can be something new. It can be
its
something
own thing.
different.
It can be a movie, its own movie. It's amazing to think about.
Did the movie had some tedious parts? Sure. If they were going to kill Finn, I would have been totally okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to kill the Asian chick, I'd have been okay with it too.
She didn't die, right?
She didn't die. I would have been okay with knocking off a few more characters. They didn't knock off Hux. We thought Hux was going in the first
I don't know
minute.
how Hux was still alive at the
They
end of that
killed.
movie.
They killed Snoke. They killed Phasma. Am I missing anybody? And Luke. Right? Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
What do you?
Phasma, you once again, she might be back again. She survived worse.
What'd you think of the Leia in space floating back to the
It
door?
was the most epic thing I've ever seen. Princess Leia floating and flying through space.
Here's their thing.
It's so
Here's her hand
whimsical.
out like a superhero
And it's
flying
so
through space.
stupid looking that I love it.
Here's what I would say. Before the movie started, I told you guys what scene I would be looking forward to the most.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Leia being challenged or something, and her finally going, you think I didn't study Jedi stuff? And pulling out... The only thing missing was her pulling a lightsaber to blast the door open. But, yes, the scene was different. It was crazy. But you have to chalk it up to... Leia has known that she's had the Force with her for 30 plus years. So something must have she must have learned something, right? Or was it the jewelry?
Yeah.
They made a big deal that Leia was going to wear a lot of jewelry in this movie, and they just kept showing it. Like, are they going to sell that in a shop somewhere? The jewelry.
Also, Kylo Ren didn't push the button. Everyone else did. He didn't kill Leia like he thought he would.
Oh yeah, no, his head came up. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. But that they wanted to set you up that he does have some humanity left in him, right?
And about the Leia flying, it was memorable. You remember that scene. That's why it's good.
Here's the big thing. We'll wrap it up with this. If I never saw another Star Wars movie again,
I'd be fine.
It'd
be good.
The movie ended. Because here's the thing. The Rebels are never going to win. The Empire is never going to win. Because in Return of the Jedi, they killed the big boss and they blew up the base. And in Force Awakens, everybody's back in power with no explanation. So they're never going to solve this conflict. It's just like the Republicans and the Democrats. Sometime one person's in power, sometime another person's in power. And we're never just watching the machinations of the person who's not in power doesn't like the guy in power, we're going to fight the guy in power, right? I get it. If I never saw another Star Wars movie, I'd be totally fine. Luke Skywalker rode off into the sunset, just like Indiana Jones did in Last Crusade. Yep. And I'm okay with that. I didn't need Crystal Skull, and whatever's coming after this, if I don't go see it, I'm fine.
It's
because
okay.
my expectations and my needs have been met in the Star Wars universe. How about that?
It's an ending. Star Wars is over.
I'm okay with that. Rey goes off. If they just said, look, we're done. Rey goes off to be a Jedi. Kylo
I'm not
Ren.
okay with that. I need more Kylo Ren.
You need more Kylo Ren.
I need him to be a good guy.
I think this is
I'm okay with him being a bad guy.
I think as time goes on, this is going to be looked at as like the Terminator Judgment Day, or the what's another good example? Like Terminator's a series of movies that has like 7 entries, and nobody cares about any of them. But the second one, Alien. Yeah, nobody cares about the rest of the Alien movies.
No, they get progressively worse.
People are gonna look at the Disney Star Wars era in 30 years and go, "Ooh, The Last Jedi, such a good chapter, such a good film." And they're not gonna go, "Ooh, Rogue One was so memorable."
Did you know they're still making those Maze Runner movies?
Apparently,
I had no idea this was even still a thing. And Divergent, that's gone, right?
I think I don't know.
I think they finished.
Hey, maybe there's a future job for Austin at Disneyland with photo ops. Now that he doesn't wear the mask in this movie as much, maybe they'll do a face one.
They're so weird about
character.
We would love.
Austin would get hired in an
No. You don't understand. I am not selling my soul and face to the Disney company. I would never do that. What you're missing is the fact that when I'm about 20, 23, I get a really nice Kylo Ren outfit, I take a photo shoot, I go to a con and set up a booth, and I sell pixels for $5.
There you go.
All those cosplay chicks and Wolverine band gets away with it.
Yeah, well, you're right. Why not you?
So there's room for
what do I always say about
There is room
cosplay?
for Kylo.
if you look like the character.
You look in the
pull it
mirror
off.
and go, who do I look like? What did I tell you? I was going to dress up as Sean Astin from Stranger Things Season 2. Because that's who I look like. I'm a pudgy white dude. You look like Kylo Ren. Let me ask you another question about you ladies here. Is Kylo Ren sexy? Is he a good-looking guy?
190%.
Because he's a weird-looking guy.
He's got kind of a big nose.
He's gorgeous.
But do you think...
I like his hair a lot.
Rachel, do you think that the way it's portrayed in this movie is meant to attract women into the film?
Yes.
That's why you didn't go to sleep.
You think he was not shirtless for a reason?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm asking.
Yes, that was for women.
Because on the guy's side, there's none of that in this movie. There's no slave Leia in this movie at all.
You get old Leia, and that was okay.
I don't need old Leia. I don't need Carrie Fisher's passed away, God rest her soul, and that's fine because I think we've said everything we need to say about.
She could have went out on a better movie.
Oh, it was great. I thought, and the next film should open with her funeral, where we all pay respects. And we're done with that. Right. We move on, like Dumbledore. Which one has his funeral?
The last one.
I think she was amazing in this film. Yeah. She was in a lot of scenes too. They used all the footage they had of her.
Yeah, they did.
If
they had decided not to use her footage because of her passing, there would have been no movie.
Oh, she was the star of the movie.
I also think if she was still alive, there wouldn't have been much of her in the movie because they wouldn't have wanted to save her for the next movie and the next movie.
And what do you think about my theory that Mark Hamill looks like young Luke in this film, and he's been made up to look like old Luke in this film?
That's a good theory.
Huh?
The one
because there's two distinct Lukes in this film.
Yes.
There's
the
a
one that was battling the ghost one.
Yeah, and then
old one on the
decrepit. I
island.
think they had made him up to look a lot older than he was.
Yeah, I don't think he can go from looking that
Because we've seen Mark Hamill, he doesn't look like
looking
that.
like that.
Yeah,
He doesn't look that bad.
He was really gorgeous.
I would still say they used.
Go ahead, Austin. I'll say that.
I
later.
would just still say they used some heavy makeup because when he tries to kill Kylo Ren, he really looks like Luke from the end of Jedi with another 5 years.
That's what I was going to say. He looked
looks
like
good.
if there had been a fourth Star Wars movie in 1987 or 1988.
Or 90s, you know.
And just something, he was dressed a lot like Jedi Luke.
Yeah, the dark
As far as nostalgia goes, that's what I'm looking for. I don't need you to hold up the training ball like Finn does in the first.
Oh, God.
I don't need that. Or the chess set turns on. I don't need that. What I need is Luke Skywalker being Luke Skywalker. And I thought, no matter what we heard before the film started, I thought they pulled it off. He was great in it.
Yeah.
This is Mark Hamill's crowning achievement as an actor. He was fantastic in the film. And they gave him an ending. And if for whatever reason, if they're going to make 10 more of these, I get it. And if at one of the end of those movies, Ray looks over and sees Mark Hamill and Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor and a rubber puppet, I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with it. I have made my peace now. I mean, how angry have I been about Star Wars for years? I go down the toy aisle and I get pissed off. Well, I'm pissed off for another reason now. They don't have the toys I want.
They have a lot I want.
I want a big...
I'm scared to go to Target now that I've seen the movie.
I want a Jack-specific old Luke.
I want the large size Kylo Ren, the one that comes in a 2-pack box.
They do
sell.
You know that's been marked down at some point on sale to like $20.
I know. I saw it for $24.
Yeah.
I almost bought it just because it looked like awesome. I'm like,
They
oh,
do
Austin.
sell a candy tube with old Luke on the top and a little propeller and its a little fan.
Yeah, I saw that.
There's no toys of middle Luke, though.
There's no middle
No, that's
Luke
what. Well, they
toys.
couldn't, but now they
Yeah.
can.
Right, find a way to
Puppet
wrap it
Yoda.
so it'll work. We leave
Yeah,
very
and we're wrapping up right now. Let's see how the roundtable goes, how angry people get, because apparently I'm the only guy that liked this movie.
There's going to be a twist on the
Dreading
last
the round
one.
table because the last round table I could care less about. I didn't like any of the past Star Wars movies at all, and I was dreading it. I'm like, oh, I'll just go with Carrie and Krista, and we're gonna eat a burger, and we'll just sit and have a girls' corner. But now I'm like, oh man, there goes my nice quiet meal because it's gonna be really hard not
They're
to be
going to tear
part
it
of
apart, and you're going to have to get up there
I'm
and
gonna be
defend
like,
it.
I'll defend
no,
it.
no.
I never thought I'd defend the
Really
Walt
don't
Disney
like it?
Company.
Oh, people hate one. Rick West compared it to Crystal Skull.
See, I wasn't gonna name drop any.
Crystal Skull.
I got one today, but I
Mom,
was
it-
like, oh, you just wait till Tuesday, buddy.
How about
It
that?
only does Star Wars lore and changes things. They retcon midi-chlorians.
I'm okay with all that. It's okay. If you put up the rocket rods, they don't work, you take the rocket rods down. You know what I'm saying?
Is Kylo saying to forget the past and move on? Part of the Star Wars series.
Oh, yeah. He may as well have been looking right at the camera. Let the past go. Worry about the new trilogy. Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. And here's the thing. We'll wrap it up with this. Some of the mistakes made in Force Awakens were rectified.
Yeah, they retconned one movie ago. They're not just retconning the prequels. They're messing with Force Awakens already.
They retcon and midichlorians. They retcon Snoke. He's out.
He's done. Done
Captain
already.
Phasma's out. That's great. I'm okay with it.
It's amazing.
Ray's parents don't matter.
Oh, I don't even talk about that. Your parents were nobodies.
Nobody. Who
That
cares?
was a really good
Hey,
line,
guess what?
though.
You think you're special? Your parents were drunks. He may as well have been talking to me. You know what I mean? Your parents. Oh no! They thought those parents were somebody special, huh? No, your parents were drunks. They sold you for liquor money. Oh my God! But see, here's the thing. Who's doing the next one? J.J. Abrams, right?
Yeah, they can re-retcon the retcon.
I was lying. Your parents were Greedo and Bosk. They had a drunken night in Cantina, and you were... Yeah, give me a break. For one shining moment, I like Star Wars again. I think that's great. I'm not going to take that away from me. If you didn't like the movie, you didn't like the movie. And here's the thing: now we're switched. Because when Rogue One came out and people were raving, I said, I'm jealous. I want to be you. Now for this one, you want to be me. And when you tell me how much you hate it, I'll give you a original trilogy reason why that's in the movie or whatever. And some of the choices were stupid. Benicio del Toro stuttering was stupid. I get it. Some of the characters... Every character in the casino had a monocle because everybody's the Monopoly Man or something. You know what I mean? Even though the Monopoly Man didn't have a monocle.
When they go through those scenes, they go through so quick, and there were so many creatures I did want to look at better. I would stop and
yeah, then when we get the Blu-ray. So until the roundtable on Tuesday, we don't say goodbye. We just say, stay tuned. Wait.
Let me swallow some more on air. Oh, God. May the force bless you all. Bye.
You want to wrap it up?
I'm pro Porg.
I guess I'm Kylo Ren now.
The best thing that could ever happen out of this is to go to Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland and have a Porg sandwich.
Ozzy wants to change his name to Kylo.
Oh, no, I don't. I never said
Just
that.
call him Kylo from now on.
I'm doomed. This character's never going to escape me now. I'm doomed.
It could be worse.
Yeah, it
you
could
know,
be.
I grew up. They go, weren't you the older brother on the Wonder Years? I go, yeah, I'm Jason Harvey. Kylo Ren's a little cooler, so.
Heck yeah.
All right, we got to take Luna to work.
Yeah.
So goodbye, and until we meet again, Star Wars. I love Star Wars.
91 reason? No.
91.
No, the whole group's gonna do that at the round
This is
table. This is
part
just bonus.
Oh, I see.
So.
What are you gonna
Pro
say?
Porg.
Pro Porg. Porg, the other white meat.
Porgs.
I want
They
a
never
onesie.
said that it was called a pork.
No, they never said Ewok in Return of the Jedi.
Porgs.
No, they never did call him Porgs, huh?
No, he didn't go, that's a Porg. He didn't, no, none of that.
I
None of
want
that.
to know an Ewok. Like, do they have a movie? Are they in a movie?
She's never seen 3 movies. Return of the Jedi, the
The
Ewok
one
Adventure.
you showed me, the original Star Wars,
Yeah.
was the most boring thing I've ever
Yeah, you
witnessed.
didn't like A New
The
Hope.
only reason you got me to watch the first
watch the
15
Ewok
minutes of it was
cartoon.
because there were cute boys in it.
I liked that.
We're going to watch Empire Strikes Back. You'll enjoy that. Especially after watching.
The first Star Wars is amazing, Josie.
Yeah.
I was my child.
No, it's
She was
boring.
born
Did
to
you even
tears.
make it to Princess Leia?
That's the
did,
whole
and that's
movie,
when I
Mom.
fell asleep.
The whole movie. I enjoyed it. I was like, wow, this was good. Young me did have great tastes.
No, it was boring. I fell asleep.
This movie it took me right back to 1981 when I was, Star Wars came out on HBO and we had it and it was on every 10 seconds and I watched it over and over and over. And what I got from filming that movie that day is what I got from this movie today. Like it was the same, right back in it. I was the same people, the same feeling. I don't know how to describe it other than that.
It was good. Makes you wonder, like,
Because it was new.
what?
Force Awakens was so familiar. It was like, I think I've seen this before. But this one was like, oh, it's people I like doing new stuff. Oh, a new movie.
I'm not connecting this movie to any Force Awakens or any other
Yeah, no. I get that.
movie that's come out in the last 10 years of Star Wars. I don't care for any of them. I'm not going to claim any of them. This is its own story on its own. To me, it's Star Wars and the Jedi and the Empire and then this one. The last, there is no in between. I'm giving them all up. Even the pod racing ones, they're gone in my memory. They're all gone.
Even the pod racing ones.
They're all gone. There was only 4, and I saw them all, and they were amazing movies.
All right, well, on that note, do you want to say May the Force be with you?
Go for it, Josie.
What, me?
Yes. 1, 2, 3. May the Force be with you.
And porks.
Thanks for listening to 91 Reasons. Please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes. Find us on Facebook. Is anyone even still listening?